When he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Says doing both hands. For those of you who don't watch on YouTube, whenever the beat drops from the Jacksons, Jason and I do a wave to the listeners, viewers.
Jacksons?
Christopher Lott thinks it. He has a mental one. But then today I did always trying to come up with new dance moves.
Yeah.
Now that it's summertime.
It's not summer, it's spring.
You're thinking temperature. I'm thinking content. We'll have a couple weeks. We'll have a good week, 2 weeks of postmortem. Requests have already been sent out to the Monties of the world, Coach Brown, a few others. Try to get whoever we can on. I think we should pick out pretty much every Kings media member and have postmortem. And I like calling it postmortem because the season died. And then just talk to everyone. G-Man, Kevin John, Matt George, get bearded grizzly Jim Crandall out of retirements.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him last summer up in some mountain Safeway randomly. What was going on? Why was I up there? I was up there for some reason, and I'm rolling through, and hey, Jim Crandall's in aisle 3. He had a beard.
Nice.
Just looked retired in the best of ways. Just grab everyone. Here, there, everywhere.
Yeah.
You. How you doing?
Glad to be home. In that sense.
So did you leave Saturday or Sunday?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh no. The way
I had a travel to get there, it was worse getting home.
The way you answered that and the look in your eyes, because you and I have not talked, tells me that this is a story, though you need to relay it for content reasons. It's not a story you want to relive.
No, I don't mind. I don't. Yeah. Yes and yes.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened?
All sorts of things.
Really?
Yeah. So I think when I saw you post like wheels up, heading home or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just getting home. You left a little over a day after me.
Yeah.
And I was getting home.
Oh my God. So delays?
All sorts of things. So leaving, let's see, Saturday, scheduled to leave Saturday, either OKC or Dallas, obviously, or home, excuse me.
Yep.
And obviously we know the reason where we were going. We were heading home. And left the airport in New Orleans it was Dallas, and then home was going to be the.
Sure.
And I don't think the flight, what would you guess the flight from New Orleans to Dallas? Hour and a half? Roughly?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think we had one of those where it was about an hour 15 layover. So it's like, okay, perfect, no problem. I don't even know that we were late getting out of New Orleans.
Okay.
But we were flying it seemed like a really long flight. Like, what are we?
Maybe the winds were hitting you?
Or just something, or were we taking an extra wide route?
The
or
pilot's in the left lane going 55.
Blinker on.
I pay my taxes.
And so it's like, all right, now prepare for descent. It's like, okay. And I'm looking at my phone, I'm like, ooh, it's going to be a little tight. And I go, you know what? And I even had one of the A. I'm like, oh, I want to be an A 1 through 15. Like, I don't want to miss the time I paid for the upgrade to miss that opportunity.
Right.
So we're circling. Now we go to land, and we do one of those where we go right back up. It's like, oh, we didn't touch down.
Oh.
Okay. And then the pilot's like, yeah, I don't know what he said then. He was like, we're going to have to do a couple of right turns and come back around again.
Okay, like, before you go any further, can I take a guess? This is what I hope it wasn't. Was there somebody political in Dallas?
I don't believe so.
Okay,
it was pouring and visibility wasn't great.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I still thought,
I got you.
No issues. So we do the circle around a little bit, come back. It's our turn to land. We finally land, and it was one of those hard on the brakes. When we land. We're like, okay. But people did clap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was like, okay, we're good. And then I think the next thing the flight attendant said that came on the speaker said, good news, made it here safely. Bad news is we don't have a gate, and we are going to be taxiing not even taxing, parked. Like you can get up from your seat and use the bathroom. It's going to be at least 45 minutes.
No.
And I went, all right, now it's going to be really tight. But then they came back on. They're like, I know for all of you have connections. Basically, there's a lot of planes delayed, so you should be fine.
Okay.
All right. Look at my phone, and I'm actually on the Southwest app, and I look, and it literally changes while I'm looking at it, and it goes, your flight is tomorrow morning. I'm like, wait.
No.
Wait, why did they move? Wait, whoa.
Whoa.
So I'm with Deuce, but he's at the front of the plane.
Uh-huh.
And he gets off and he says, hey, are you almost off the plane? I said, no, I was in the middle and I still wasn't off the plane. He goes, well, hurry to the gate. We still might make it. I'm like, oh my gosh, great. So basically sprint to the gate. Our plane has not left yet, which it was scheduled to leave like 40 minutes before. I mean, we ended up being on the thing way longer than 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Get to the gate. It's still open. There's 10 seats open, and there's like 6 of us from trying to get to Sacramento. And because Southwest already, like, we didn't even count on the flight anymore. We weren't registered for there.
Sure.
So that they did that on their own, but we're like, we have our original passes. They're like,
no,
you're basically out of luck. I'm like, well, wait, we are here. And the pilot was actually even vouching for it. He's like, guys, it's common sense. Like, they're here. Why wouldn't we just let them on the plane? And they basically said, no, because you've already been without our request.
You doing it.
Yeah. We were already scheduled for tomorrow.
That is
like
just
usually
moronic.
You get off, you're like, okay, get you to Seattle or Salt Lake, and then we'll get you to Oakland somehow. And it was, okay, well, now where are our bags? And like, well, we could, I mean, they're here, but we could probably, it'd probably take like 3 hours to find. Like, all right, we tapped out. We're like, fine. We're just going we've got to a hotel, and we had to fly out of Dallas. Now it's not even any straight flight too. It was yesterday, Dallas to Phoenix. Phoenix home. And
Okay.
went,
all right. Okay.
all
all right.
And then, you get here and the bags were here, but I was like 5% chance. I go, the bags aren't going to be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So if we had flown,
Yeah.
excuse me, the game ends on Friday night.
Yeah.
If we had hopped in a car and drove 32 hours, I've driven before, it would have beat the time home.
So 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
3 things. Number 1, that's insane. Number 2, that's weird. My flight was actually really easy.
I know.
Number 3, Jason. Friend, if you're not already on this, I'm here for you. Can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Number 1, what'd you get?
Nothing.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Because you've already gone through it.
Uh-huh.
You've already gone through the pain. So they did not pay for your hotel?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Which I believe the Kings did, but still the Kings had to.
What if I told you?
Yeah.
What if I told you?
It's like a 30 for 30.
I can guarantee you, if you let me help, and you can pass this on to Deuce, you're probably going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 to 250,000 Southwest points out of this, not including, okay, a refund for your hotel. Either cash or voucher, probably voucher, which is usually 3 to 4x what your food accrual, everything. Like, they have to, not, it depends on the right customer service. No, like, there's been lawsuits, and I just went through this about a year ago. Not only do they have to pay for your hotel room, they have to pay for your food and any transportation, any expenses accrued. And then on top of that, they have to come clean with you and for your inconvenience. And that's where it really gets fun. Like, it's not they have to do it. On top of that, oh my God, what a fantastic, I say fantastic, but what an incredibly moving situation when you can say, we were at the gate.
We were.
You did this.
Yeah.
It caused me, the only thing I'm going to ask you is this, and I know that you're probably instinctively going to want to say no, but please, God, don't. Can I call them for you? Please, can I call them?
Oh, it's a phone call?
It is.
Yeah.
It's a phone call.
Oh, I don't mind calling.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, if you want to call for me,
really
whatever.
do. Can I be your agent?
Mm-hmm.
Can I call them?
You're trying to just accrue all the stuff you can get.
I Absolutely. I know. I missed, but I was angry.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's garbage.
Yeah.
This seems like a cash grab.
And then whatever you get, then you just tell Deuce that, and then he can call up and just give his flight number, blah, 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 match it and say, hey, this is what my guy, this is what you did for my guy.
Yeah.
Look at his notes.
Right.
And then they'll say, okay, here you go. I'm not saying it's going to justify what you went through, but now that you've gone through it and you're home and all of that, just know that you and your wife or whomever are going to have a nice, lovely amount of
Southwest points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. It's exciting.
More snack mix for us.
Tons of snack mix. You ever been to Hawaii, Jason? Of course
I
you
have.
How about Mexico? Want to go to Mexico,
Sure.
Jason?
I believe they go to Costa Rica.
They do go to Costa Rica.
We do?
Southwest. I believe they go to the DR, Dominican Republic. I think they have a flight there. I know they go to the Bahamas. Yeah, I might have to make a few connections.
Yeah. Connections.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you were just straight through.
It was weird.
Yeah.
No, so-
each way, I had like the way out with that Southwest lines being cut.
Yeah. No,
That
we
was
had a
crazy.
nonstop. Well, I actually got lucky, got a nonstop there and back. And then food was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had snacks. I was asking when you left though, because we left yesterday afternoon. We was like wheels up at like 1:30.
Yeah.
Dude, so you know how hot and humid it was Friday and Saturday, at least compared to here. Like
it was starting to get sticky in New Orleans. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but you could feel it.
I completely acknowledge that saying last weekend was hot and sticky in New Orleans is laughable compared to the I get it. But coming from here,
noticeable.
It was like mid 80s, high 80s, and super humid.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a sweat monster,
Mm-hmm.
and we walked a bunch. It's a walking city. So then Sunday morning, I come downstairs around 7 a.m. from the hotel. There's a little coffee place across. So I come downstairs, pretty much, short shirt, flip flops. Dude, I had to turn around and go back inside, and thank God I brought a jacket. The temperature yesterday dropped about 30 degrees.
Oh, really?
It was drizzly rain.
Probably the rain from Dallas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was windy, it just cold wind. It was night and day.
Yeah.
There was no in between.
Right. That's what Dallas. I was like, wow. I mean, it was actually cold in Dallas. I'm like, it's raining. That's fine. But it's cold here.
It was cold as heck.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I'm super sorry you had to go through that. Simultaneously, I'm also kind of excited because you there's nothing we can do to turn back timeshare, but I'm excited for what and I don't need anything big. I just need, first, last name, middle initial, your Southwest number. That's it. I can't really do anything with that. Don't need any credit card information. It's okay. And I will be your advocate, Jason Ross, because this is something you need recompense.
Yeah. The funniest line, not funniest, but the line that the pilot kept saying, he's like, guys, he was talking to the agent. He's like, this seems like common sense. They're here.
That's insane.
Blah, blah, blah. And then he kind of pulled us aside. He's like, I'm really sorry. Look, the rest of this is above my pay grade. I'm like, it's really, that's just a thing you say because you don't know how to fix it. I
really
hope
not.
you're one of the highest paid people here.
Was he the pilot of the flight that was about to
He
take
was
off?
going to be our pilot. He was like basically it was almost like he was like, come on, like just get on the plane. And it's like, yeah, we are here.
Right.
And then they're like, in your bags. We're like, all of us, we don't care. I'll drive back to the airport to get my bag. I just want to get home.
I mean, not for nothing, but I think, hey, if they don't get on, I don't get on, probably would have worked. But
yeah.
That's-
Try harder, pilot.
Yeah, try
he was
harder.
great.
Hope you flew the plane harder than you advocated
A
for.
shameful performance.
It was. Well, kind of like the Sacramento
Other than
Kings.
that.
You showed up to New Orleans and couldn't connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what a way to end the year.
Sure.
I mean, they also could have put you on the team playing, but that's for me to say, not you. You're just happy to be there. Good Lord willing.
Yeah.
Did you at least get a good meal?
There's another story around that too.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. Maybe an off air.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Maybe.
Maybe tell it off air and then we decide.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to be here.
Great to be with you.
Great to be with you. Obviously, today's show is going to be the first of a few, what we will call many times postmortems, just recaps. We'll do stuff this week like player grades, where do you go?
They're all speaking today, their finale with the media, so we'll have reaction to that tomorrow too.
There's also sound out there, Fox talking about Malik Monk's future, which I think is worth playing. And we'll talk to you guys. Obviously, if you want to vent, if you have questions, if you have statements, 1-800-920-1140. Also, one of our coworkers insisted I do this, just full disclosure, because it's hilarious. Our friend Simone texted me while I was out there and says, I've never had a muffaletta sandwich. I heard you talking about it. Can you bring me one back? I said, yeah, but it would have to travel from the thing and then the plant. And then
So that's what you said?
What? Is that,
that's what you said?
That's what I said, or verbatim. So anyway, she's like, I don't care. I said, so in the downstairs fridge, there is a really rough looking muffaletta sandwich in the
is like the oil already on it.
Yeah, everything.
So
it's all put together. I don't think it's going to be great. It might borderline get her sick, but I made it very clear.
Here it is.
I am relieving myself of any responsibility here. Here's your sandwich. We're good to go. All right, we'll lead it off next with the Sacramento Kings, the NBA playoffs, and all of that right here in your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Let's do it. Leading off, the three top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number one.
Second free throw miss. Sabonis is there, grabs his 14th rebound. Fox races up the floor, puts on the brakes, launches a three. It's blocked by Herb Jones. Grabbed by the Pelicans. Jones goes to the rim for the two-hand flush. And now there are two cherries on the Sunday. It's 105-96. Davion Mitchell drives inside. He'll get an uncontested layup with 4 seconds to go. And more than likely, that is the final scoring of the evening. For a 6th consecutive time this season, the New Orleans Pelicans have put a hurt on the Sacramento Kings. They do it by 7, the final margin of separation. It's 105-98. And it's the Pelicans who will advance. They will claim the 8th seed in the Western Conference. They will move to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder. Game number 1 scheduled Sunday, game number 2 on Wednesday. And a disconsolate group of Sacramento Kings will spend the night here in this city and then fly to the West Coast tomorrow. And disappointment abounds.
Well, right. Tis what it is. Only one team gets to win their last game of the year.
True.
Could be in Seattle.
Yeah.
Wait.
I guess other teams could win their final game, but not make the playoffs.
But now we have playoffs. That's a great point.
But I know what you mean.
We could be in Seattle.
Well, yeah.
We have a new arena.
Yeah.
Could be a 30-game winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Look, well, yeah, there's always worse. And there's never a good way to lose, but no. It just stinks when as the game's going on, you're like, it's not happening, is it? You know what I mean? Like if it's, this, and that. And I know there was a couple times I kept looking up and it felt like the score was worse. I go, well, it's 11. It's actually, they can do this, but you didn't feel like they were going to, not because of them per se, but it's like this, they don't have an answer for this group.
Nope.
And I didn't even think the Pelicans were amazing that day, but they were obviously better than the Kings.
Here's the thing, and I'm just gonna say it, and you tell me I'm wrong, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm really not. You were there, I was there. Here's what I saw. Not because they didn't want to.
Of course.
I'm not questioning heart or anything. Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis didn't show up, and if they show up, they win the game.
Possible. I mean, the way the Pelicans played,
how
possibly.
I felt. Watching, and it wasn't like they were crazy. Keegan just, for some reason, his road and home splits, and we talked about this Friday, are 10 points off. He had plenty of open looks.
Yeah.
He was 4 of 12. He was 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, and I think 1 of 6 for almost the entire game.
Right.
And Keon, God bless him. Again, this is just analysis. This isn't personal. I like Keon Ellis had the just a stanker.
Yeah, well, look, what they beat the Warriors Tuesday. Wednesday, we're trying to give out a game ball, and it was difficult because 100%. It was like, man, Barnes, Keon, Fox, Sabonis, just go down the list. Fox, just Fox.
Yeah, I mean Fox. Look, nobody shot great. I mean Sabonis always,
Yeah. I thought Sabonis was fine.
He had 23, 14, and 7 with 3 steals and a block.
He was fine.
Fox had 35, 7, and 5 with 3 steals as well. They had 6 steals in between him and the block. Just 5 turnovers between, or excuse me, sorry, 9 turnovers. I'm the wrong guy. For me, I'm not saying they had an all. I'm directing zero blame at Fox and Sabonis.
Yeah,
I just have a hard time with that. And Barnes
kind of got some numbers. I didn't feel he was great, but he got some numbers.
He
which
contributed,
we would take.
And we'll take him. If you'd have told me Barnes would have 17 points in the game, I would have taken it.
But the rest of the group,
the rest of the group, Davion Mitchell brought it back, but he was putrid in the first half. That coach had to remove him, and there was no answer. Like Ellis just.
Did Lyles take a field goal?
Lyles was 0 of 1.
Right.
I mean, when Sasha Vezenkov, God bless him, gets 11 minutes, Mike's reaching for stuff in that type of game. I don't want to look. I'm not saying, hey, Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray cost them the season. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying an analysis of this game.
At that game only.
If I have to simplify it, it's really simple. If Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis are anywhere near what they were against the Warriors, I think we're in Oklahoma City last night.
They couldn't have been better against them.
They couldn't have.
And I don't think they couldn't have been much worse.
I agree with you. I can tell you they could have been 4 Keegan Murray field goals. That's exactly how worse they could have been.
Yeah.
And I know you win and lose as a team.
Sure.
I know that Keon Ellis didn't wake up that day and say, you know what, I'm going to stink the place up.
Right.
I know we're not talking about the defense they played. I'm not talking about their defense. Defense, whatever, fine. I'm saying.
Yeah, the game was there to be had.
It was. Yeah. They were down 9 going to the 4th, I think.
You also tell me that CJ's going to have, did he have 7 or 9? I'm like, oh, they're winning this game.
CJ McCollum, if you told me, would be 3 of 8 with 7 points.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me that C.J. McCollum, Herb Jones, and Trey Murphy would have combined for 28 points, I'd have said, let's go.
Yeah, and then, the Pelicans, what they did differently, because talking to some people there, they're like, yeah, they should be playing Najee Marshall more. They like Nance Jr. They went to those guys early, and those guys started to produce. Their bench was way better.
34-12.
Yeah, and just kind of just kept powering through it. I thought the Kings, like, out of desperation in the last 2 minutes, actually made it. You didn't think they were going to win. I'm like, man, where was this kind of? But also, it felt like
that all year.
It was like, okay, we're just expire the time. We're not going to lose this.
We've seen them dig holes.
Yeah, because the score at the end was closer than it felt.
Yes, it was not. Yeah, 105-98 was not.
Lost by 7. No,
it wasn't indicative. I truly believe if New Orleans had kept their foot on the pedal, it would have been 20. Also, by the way, this isn't why they lost, but 68% from the line.
Yeah, that didn't help. And then the obvious one, but they'll argue they didn't have Zion. It's true. But over time, I mean, it did. I mean, it would have been great to have Monk and Herter, but they didn't have them. Nope. That would have been the reality. I still think they could have won the game without him. I think they would have done great against OKC. That doesn't mean anything now.
No,
because they didn't get OKC, and they're home.
and they're home. And Cancun is on the way, and there's a lot to get to in the offseason. Look, we had it signed up here to do the other NBA playoff games, and we'll get to that. Yeah, but really, this is leading off. This is what matters. This is what people care about. And again, there's other stuff going on in sports. We will talk about that throughout the day. But people care about the Kings. We're going to talk about the Kings because if for no other reason, very soon here, we're not going to have a lot of Kings to talk about. That being said, we will take a break. When we come back, the Kings, well, they're 0-6 against the Pelicans, and we have audio for you. If you wrote a book on this season, Jason, just as we go to break, and it's not going to be any one thing that led us to this. If you had a coffee table book entitled Reasons Why the Sacramento Kings weren't as good as they could have been, it wouldn't be a pamphlet. It would be incredibly thick. And thickness matters, I think, to a lot of people, especially, I'm sure those listening and viewing right now. Good morning, everybody. What better time to talk about girth than right now when I want to talk about my friends Dr. Jack Friedlander in Roseville, Dr. Pash in San Francisco. They are real learned doctors, actual doctors. You may remember Dr. Jack, all the stuff we did in years past. Well, now they're making people happy, making a lot of men very, very happy at upsizematters.com with a procedure that can increase that circumference. You like what you got? But you want to be on the all-star team? Go for it. You want to get in the big leagues? Go for it. Whichever works. This is a non-surgical, virtually pain-free procedure. It's safe, it's effective, it's long-lasting, it's semi-permanent. It's a free consultation. Obviously, incredibly private. And the procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation. That's it. That's it. Go to upsizematters.com. Upsizematters.com. Get your girth on. We'll take a break. When we come back, highlights from Friday, if you will. Do that next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Is this house a good price compared to others in the area? Are prices going up or down? If I don't make an offer right this very moment, will I miss my chance? These are just some of the questions a home buyer might ask. And these are the sorts of questions an agent who is a realtor can help answer. Because realtors have the expertise, data, and access to specialty training to help you navigate the process of buying a home. They provide support, guidance, and have your back every step of the way. That's what realtors do, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tug Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's chicken fingers.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Explore more this season in California with Toyota's legendary reliability. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, including more hybrids and plug-in hybrids than any other brand. Right now, get low 3.99% APR financing on the spacious Highlander, or check out great lease deals on the stylish Camry, sporty Corolla, and dynamic RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available on 2024 models through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit. Excludes hybrids and Sport 3024.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Welcome back. Spent most of my weekend listening to the new Taylor Swift double album that she snuck out Friday.
You did?
No.
Okay.
But I did see this chart. It was
okay.
This is what I'm here for. It was a chart of every Taylor Swift album and then a color-coded bar graph next to each album name of how many swear words she uses. And it just like steadily goes up the more successful she is. And then this one is just like, and then it breaks down like each bad word, like, oh, hey, there was this many F words, S words, B words.
Great details.
Great details. So yeah, a lot of parents out there getting that new album for their kids. Bring home the
parents just don't understand.
They just don't understand. There we go. We might get to this today, but the article Sam Amick alluded to last week
was teasing for months.
The anonymous player grades on everything from who's your MVP to what's your least and most favorite arena to play in, overrated and underrated players in the NBA. I can tell you this, there are Sacramento Kings or the team itself or the arena itself that make appearances in things like most and or least favorite arena to play in. There's a Sacramento King listed for most overrated player in the league. There's a Sacramento King listed for most underrated player in the league, coach you'd least most want to play for, stuff like that, making some appearances. Nice. So we'll see if we have time to get to that. But Jason, in the meantime, the Pelicans beat the Kings
again,
6-0. Hey, do you think next year, whenever the Kings play the Pelicans the first time, do you think there should be a lot of, well, they can't beat them 7 times in a row?
Well, I was looking back, I go, did they? And they did beat the Kings, beat them the last time of last year. But I was like, is this streak longer than we even know? But For many reasons, Dave, this team is the Kings' demise. The obvious 6-0, but the fact that they didn't clinch a 6, like the Kings could have still been 8 or 7 in other ways because the Pelicans couldn't clinch 6, couldn't clinch 7, and the third time they clinched 8.
Makes you wonder if they'd have just beat the Lakers, the
Kings
Pelicans,
to Phoenix,
or exactly.
Yeah. Would it be different? Would it be the same?
All these different things. The Kings hold on to the Suns at home. Just all these different things. It wasn't just they lost to the Pelicans. It was what led up to the loss.
And that's just the last week, and we can list all the other things.
Beat Detroit at home.
Sure. We knew though at some point at the end of the year we go, man, if, and that's because it'd been nice to avoid the Pelicans.
Would have been really nice.
Yeah.
I want to say this before we get to the highlights. Not that anyone necessarily wants to hear it, but I think it's worth saying. So going into that game, the Pelicans were 5-0 against the Kings. They had lost 6 home games in a row. Now, you know this and I know this. I don't know if everybody knows this, but in New Orleans, it goes something like this. Saints, LSU, Jazz, Food,
Drew Brees,
probably some voodoo person.
Yeah.
Some other, 5 other things, and then the Pelicans. That's the order.
Yeah.
There is not on the surface a thought about the Pelicans. I got to tell you, I think the most surprising thing to me in that whole experience, that place was insane. And I don't know if it came through the TV or not. Now, the upper deck.
Yeah, it took a while, I would say.
It was not full.
All
the upper deck was not full. The lower bowl, I think, was pretty damn full. And I was surprised as the game went on. I turned to buddy I was with at one point. I said, if I close my eyes, I think this is Golden One Center with how noisy it is.
Yeah, but I think because I literally had the opposite thought, when they're doing the anthem. I'm looking around going, there's not that many people here. We're seconds from tip-off.
100%.
And there were a lot of people. But it was not full. And you're just going, this is basically a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Kings had a decent first quarter, so it wasn't that loud. But as it went along, I'm like, woof.
Yeah, woof.
Yeah.
It got, I was shocked at how loud it got. And I'll say this too. Again, probably nobody wants to hear this, but for the almost entirety, really classy fans, really cool.
Oh.
You can tell the franchises that haven't been there
and
are just happy to be there. And, even the cesspool of social media, of course it's going to happen. The amount of Warrior fans and then some Laker fans that pop in. Ha-ha! You thought beating Steph Curry you shouldn't have celebrated, morons. Not a single. When I say not a single, they beat us 6-0 and sent us home. Not a single Pelican fan, at least on my timeline, was talking any sort of garbage.
Right.
I put out
Southern hospitality.
Yeah, really. And I put out a poll yesterday because I said, I love Sam Presti. I love what Oklahoma City's done, but why am I weirdly am I pulling for the Pelicans? Is this some sort of left brain hip check that if the Pelicans do better, it kind of justifies them being 6-0 against us type of thing?
I did wonder how Kings fans felt about that, because it's you can make the argument, hey, the team that beat you, let them go on, makes you feel better, or it's no, I don't like that team, get them out. I honestly don't know what Kings fans want in that series.
Well, I can tell you a lot of votes on this one. 69%. And by the way, the question was, anyone else weirdly rooting for the Pelicans? 69%.
It was yes, no.
Yeah, it was yes, no. 69% are not rooting for the Pelicans.
Okay.
Which I honestly thought it was going to be real close to 50-50. I misjudged that one. I get it. I do. I get it. Hey, tired of watching them beat us. Love Oklahoma City. I get it.
Yeah.
And by the way, the atmosphere in OKC.
Oh, I knew that would be the case.
Yeah,
that place is great. Another thing I'm missing, the Kings not being there. If Kings fans also watch the 2 games in OKC against Sacramento, let's say game 1 and game 2.
Yeah.
I always like the response back. It's oh, you thought you were loud? Okay. We'll bring it in game 3 and 4. That would have been fun back and forth.
It would have been the loudest NBA crowd tennis match you could possibly see.
It would have been.
And they would have just kept trying to outdo each other, and very similar markets, very similar attitudes, by the way. Here's how the game started. It started right for Domantas Sabonis.
Ingram on the run on the right wing to 2-point range. A little stutter step, picks up the dribble, hands it off to Jones. Here's a steal by Sabonis. Kings push 2-on-1. Sabonis Euros to the rim, rips it down, and that brings everybody up off the Kings bench. A 4-2 Sacramento advantage after the steal and the end-to-end push by Domantas Sabonis.
Stop the game.
Stop the game. Well, wait, De'Aaron Fox, he's fast. This just in, but he's got Herb Jones chasing, one of the best defenders in the game. Herb's not fast enough.
Sabonis handles, comes across the logo and gives to Fox. Finds a seam, drives inside, right to the rack and scores. De'Aaron Fox off the dribble. Makes it a 3-point lead for the first time in the early evening. That's 7-4.
How about a couple of Domantas Sabonis? Not one, couple of Domantas Sabonis steals.
McCollum now isolated behind the back pass, stolen by Sabonis. It was intended for Valanciunas. Kings going 3-on-3. Sabonis digs into the paint on Jones, drop step, up fake once, twice, scores. Good job, good patience on the part of Domantas Sabonis. He has 8, and the Kings lead 16-13. Second time that Sacramento has led by as many as 3. Up fake by Jones, wiggles to the edge of the paint. Indecision. Another steal. Sabonis comes up with it. Great defensive anticipation. He looks now. He finds Keon Ellis, who shovels to Fox. Fox now starts right, goes left, then goes right, pulls up off the bounce, and he hits the straightaway 2-pointer. And it's the first time that either club has had a 2-possession advantage. It's 18-13 in favor of Sacramento.
And that's how it would end. The Kings went on to beat the Pelicans in New Orleans.
I wish.
How much did you allow yourself? Now you're a pro, you're calling it, you're doing it. I get it. How much, if any, did you allow your heart to open just a little bit as the game began and go, you know what?
I was there.
I was
there. I'm like, they're looking good. This might, I go through all those things.
Yeah. Well, it was all fun and games. It was back and forth. It was tied here, tied there. Najee Marshall, a nice dunk, back and forth. And well, then New Orleans, they threw the first punch.
34-31 in favor of the red-clad Pelicans. Brandon Ingram inside the Nance for an easy flush. It's now a 5-point Pelicans lead at 36-31. Kings had a 7-point lead at 24-17. Late first quarter, here's another pass. Broken up, turnover, De'Aaron Fox. Nance with a poke away. Here's Murphy back to Nance. Rips it home. Timeout, Sacramento. Pelicans have got momentum. They've got the crowd engaged and fired up. Standing ovation here at the Smoothie King Center. The blender, they call it.
Yes, you call it the blender. You know what? That kind of answers my question. I haven't watched the TV broadcast yet. I don't think those mics do it justice as to how loud it eventually got, actually. That was the first punch. There's no moral victories, and I know nobody's here to hear any sort of I don't know if I want to call them positives, Jason. I will say this. I never felt like the Kings broke. I never felt like they gave up as they did in, I would say, not gave up, but I would say the Kings broke in 4 of the 5 previous matchups with the Pelicans. There was just a point where they broke. Even when they got down, I want to say they got down, 17?
It might have even been to 20.
Was it to 20?
I don't know.
I know there was at least a 17-point lead at some point, and then you just, it was 20, 97-77. But you just kind of, every time you think the game was going to be completely out of hand, you felt like the Kings would just kind of, okay, we're going to cut it to 9. Yeah. We'll cut it to 11. We'll cut it to 7 at one point. But in the end, one guy, Brandon Ingram, he's just so damn smooth.
Here's C.J. McCollum now from Ingram. Retreats to the logo. Gives to B.I. Straddles the 3-point line. 2 seconds on the clock. One dribble. Launches to beat the buzzer and does. That's the biggest lead of the night for the Pelicans. It's 92-77, and New Orleans looks more and more like they're going to be Oklahoma City bound tomorrow.
Well, spoiler alert, they were.
Yeah. And the amount of people, and you were there too, like that, I was telling you, I was getting vibes. Like when we talked to Todd Graffinini, their radio guy on Friday, just a lot of people were down on the Pelicans, and
Yeah.
even getting at the game, like
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, I think you guys are going to win. I'm like, what is
That's
going
all
on?
I heard was I think you got, and it wasn't like false either.
Yeah.
They really believed we were going to win.
And it was, I almost like, I for myself found I like the role of like, hey, you guys are underdogs better.
Right.
Because I'm like, why? Everybody's way too confident. The audio we played with Draymond, this should be an easy win. I'm like, what?
10 of 12.
Barkley, they'll win.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
10 of 12 ESPN, the whole list where there was just the one that thought we beat the Warriors. I think 10 of 12 thought we were going to beat the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Last thing, I kind of understood, you and I hear other comments, especially out of the Bay Area, where people get really frustrated with Domantas Sabonis' style of play. I kind of understood a little bit of that when you see it's not a photo negative. He's not as good, but Jonas Valanciunas is a giant side of beef, and Domantas Sabonis is a giant side of beef. And just watching Jonas just pound it down low, and that little hook he has, and you're like, he's just basically shouldering you. And then I went, oh my God, shoulder. Okay, that's what we get. I can't bitch about that. Valanciunas was sublime. I thought he wasn't perfect, but he and Domantas Sabonis all but cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Sabonis is slightly better,
Yeah.
but
that's a win for the
That's
Pelicans.
a win for the Pelicans. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll switch it up for one of the few times today because it's a benchmark. We do it every day at 6:43. Safe or out? We'll get into some baseball very, very quickly. Then back to the Kings and Pelicans and 3 for Madness. Don't go away. We're back right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers. Thunder, Feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder. Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Just a quick aside, because where else am I going to put this? Hey, now, congratulations to Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, man.
Because of the rain delay, he has won the whatever the hell tournament it was in Hilton Head, RBC
Heritage.
Yeah, Heritage. I think you're exactly right. Jason, what's interesting about Scheffler here is that Scotty Scheffler, on the list of highest earnings in a single season, Scotty Scheffler holds the number 1 spot. Last year, he made $21 million. This year, if Scotty Scheffler were to take the rest of the year off, and by the way, we just started.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler would be $200,000 behind Jon Rahm for second, all time.
Wow.
Scotty Scheffler in the last 42 days has earned $16.3 million. That's good enough right now for third all time in a single season on the PGA Tour.
Wow.
That doesn't count like all the, I think you get $13 million for the FedEx Cup, which is why Victor Hovland's fourth. Like, that is insane. He is on, like, this is a fun little golf side that we will not get into, but
the game of golf.
Thank you, Scott. I don't know in the history of golf if there has been a less talked about player that is on more of a heater than Scott Scheffler right now.
And part of that, I think, is the LIV PGA split, right?
I agree with you. Part of it is,
but he's still great.
Scotty is like an incredibly sweet, awesome, grounded. He's everything you want a sports star to be. Also, if he has charisma,
he hides it.
He hides it pretty well.
Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly. He just kind of is comfortable in his own skin, and I love him for it. But he's on a Tiger-like heater right now. Be interesting to see. And he's just getting started, man. All right, safer out. Christopher Laud, baseball time. Question 1.
The largest lead of any team thus far is the Cleveland Guardians at 3 games. Safer out. This party will last.
There's a lot of parity right now, and that's partially because we're like an 8th through this season. This long, sloggy, 162 game, completely unnecessarily long season, in my opinion alone. But when you look at each division, Jason, it is going to be an absolute slugfest between your Yankees and Orioles. Baltimore's a half game back, despite Jackson Holiday being like 1 of 97.
Yeah.
The Rangers have a half game lead on the Mariners in the West. The Braves have a 1 game lead on the Phillies. The Brewers have a 2 game lead on the Cubs, 2.5 on the Reds. The Dodgers, who did win yesterday, they're just a game up on the Padres, a game and a half back up on the Diamondbacks, and just 2.5 up on the 10 and 13 Giants.
Hey.
Will the parity last? Out. I do not know. They won't. I mean, these teams will adjust, and
get their separations. But I do think a couple of divisions, the Central in the National League and the East in the AL at least, are going to be just slugfest. Yeah, and for the sport, there's arguments to be made for both. Like if you had a Dodgers just kind of run away with it in the regular season, maybe a team to watch or fun, and then you root against them if they're not your team in the postseason. But to have parity keeps more teams in. I think that's good for baseball, but I'm with you. I don't think it will last out.
Safer out, question 2, please.
Safer out. There is a bright side for the Giants.
Yeah, safe. Logan Webb looks fantastic. Every bit the Cy Young candidate was last year. Blake Snell, you got to think, is only going to get better. The new guy from Korea, already love him. Can't remember his name. I always mess it up. That's why I'm not saying it. Love Matt Chapman. I think with the emergence of Blake Snell, which will eventually happen, this team's not going to get any worse. But again, I think they're what we thought they were, about a 500 team.
Yeah, I think it's safe. The fact that they're still in the division, right? It's a really good division with the Diamondbacks doing what they did last year. The Dodgers have all their talent, and the Padres being good. So they're still there, even with not that great of a start. I don't think so. That to me, that's the bright side. Safe.
All right, finally, safer out. Question 3.
Safer out. There's a bright side for the A's.
Yeah, I think what they're doing right now is safe. What they're doing right now, they're not going to win a World Series, but you can kind of see there's some young guys on this team that there is some talent. I mean, they'll obviously be probably traded at the deadline for cash, but at least right now, I think they're winning more than they're losing, and I appreciate the job that management and the players are doing to try to at least shield themselves as much as they can from the drama and the crap off the field. So it's hard not to root for these guys. They have nothing to do with relocations. They're just trying to play baseball.
Yeah, and so far so good. Yeah, they're navigating through that. So I say safe as well. Maybe the record's a little better than we thought. They've hit a little bit of struggles here lately, but good for them. Just keep battling and see what the A's can do.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Kings fall to the Pelicans. We got some more audio for you. And speaking of the Athletic, is Mike Brown on the hot seat at all? They address his contract situation. We'll let you know what was said next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
The NBA playoffs are here, and we all know playoff mode is a thing. Listen to the evidence. Playoff crowds are going wild. Playoff players are lighting up the court. Even your speakers are in playoff mode. Okay, we'll take it down a notch, but just a notch, because this is the turn it up to 11 NBA playoffs. Playoff mode is clearly a thing. The NBA playoffs presented by Google Pixel continue on ABC, ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
With a variety of weekly promotions, there's something for everyone to enjoy at a Sacramento Rivercats game. Don't miss a Toyota Family Value Tuesday featuring $2 hot dogs and $2 ice cream, or Thirsty Thursday featuring ice cold beer. Join us on Smut Orange Fridays for happy hour and live music. And don't forget to stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with post-game fireworks. Find all promotional details at rivercats.com and make your plans to head out to Sutter Health Park this season.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Slightly Stupid. Live in concert. Saturday, April 27th, 7:30 p.m. The venue in Thunder Valley. With special guest Fortunate Youth. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss Slightly Stupid live.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
There's a article in The Athletic we already mentioned. Give them a nice plug here, but they deserve it. I mean, great Kings coverage. What do you want? Not just the anonymous player thing that we're going to get to where they asked him all kinds of questions, but Anthony Slater and Sam have a pretty extensive deep dive on the Kings. And part of it that I thought was very interesting was on Mike Brown. You know, he signed a 4-year deal in 2022, but the fourth season is a mutual option. Both Kings and Mike could opt out. So for practical purposes, next year's a contract year for him. And according to their sources, and I have no reason to disbelieve this whatsoever, he's looking for a longer-term commitment at market rate, at his market rate. Now, the coaching salaries are kind of reset since he signed. Kerr got $17.5 million, Pop 16, Monty Williams 13, and I think it's fair to say that he probably won't command that, but it's probably going to be in those double-digit millions per year, 10-ish, whatever. So it's really interesting to think, okay, well, maybe they come to an agreement. Like, he's not going, he'll be back next year.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But I think it's fair to say if they don't come to an extension agreement this summer, now all of a sudden it becomes a little bit of a distraction next season.
Yeah, and we all think there's going to be, changes with this team, but the one that has to be addressed is Jordy. I mean, Jordy does get that other job in Brooklyn, and that he was a lead assistant. So something that will be addressed, but that's going to be an important hire for Mike Brown and his staff.
Well, and on top of that, even though it doesn't count against the cap, you also have the Malik Monk thing that's hanging over everybody's head.
Yeah.
And it's nothing new here to report. Certainly sounds like he definitely wants to return. But the Kings are limited in what they can give him. I believe we've said it before, 4 years. I want to say 76 or 4 and 78, somewhere in there. 4 years, 78 is the max long-term deal they can give. They've extended out with all the maximum allowable ranges. The question, though, is at 26 years old, coming off an injury, if Orlando, if Philadelphia, if one of these teams with cap room comes in with a 4-year, $100 million deal, and again, I'll restate it because it's boring and nerdy, but it matters. If he goes to Orlando, there's no state tax there. So now it's $24 million plus all of it. You're talking about a good $35 million more over 4 years. That's almost $10 million more a year on its own. If he goes to Philadelphia, I'm pretty sure they have state tax in Pennsylvania. But again, just the behind the scenes of how this works, whoever his shoe company is, they're going to pay him more to be in Philadelphia than they are in Sacramento. So it's more money and then some. Whereas Orlando and Sacramento are pretty much even with the shoe companies as far as that money. You're asking him to give up a lot of money to stay here.
Right. A lot of money.
Life-changing money.
Right.
De'Aaron Fox, easy to say, they're practically brothers. They go back to Kentucky. After the game on Friday, he talked about the future of Malik Monk.
I mean, obviously, I think he was extremely big for us. People that watch us play know that he should be sixth man of the year, but at the end of the day, that this is a business, and I feel like what he gave to us in the 2 years that he has been here, I feel like he showed his value, what he can do for a team, and I'm happy for him regardless if he's with us or he isn't, and he knows that. But man, at the end of the day, this is a business. You can only play basketball for so long. Yeah,
he was just asked because it's low there. De'Aaron, have you talked to him and tried to convince him to come back?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for sure. But money talks. Like I said, you can't play this game for forever. You have such a short window to play basketball. Obviously, not everybody's going to be Bron or CP and play 19, 20 years. So you have to be able to get paid whenever you can, obviously. And I mean, that's what Vince Carter told me, and he played 21 years. So. Man, Malik's, like I said, Malik was great for us. Obviously, I would love to have him back, but I don't know what the future holds.
Okay, well, there's a real easy 2 ways to take that. Number one, an incredibly understandable and normal Kings fan way to take that. He gone. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone, and Fox knows it, and a lot of that conversation was, yeah, I'd love to have him back. Money talks. The second way to take it is take Fox exactly at face value. He'd love to have him back, but he understands it's a business, and he certainly doesn't want to put any public pressure on his friend, especially with the fan bases of setting him up to think, oh, well, you should stay here out of loyalty. Look, I'm all for loyalty. As a Kings fan, I want Malik Monk to stay so badly, but also I don't like the idea of bringing loyalty into the equation, because just as Malik Monk could be loyal to the Kings and sign him, okay, great. He could sign the deal and the Kings could trade him the following, year from there. Loyalty works both ways, and it is a business. So the second way would be face value. I don't know what the third way would be. Maybe it's just two. But I'm going to choose to not overread the tea leaves. If you ask me today, right this second, if I had to bet, I would bet that he'll go. I would just have to bet that he is going to get a nice offer. I understand that selfishly, and I've heard this from some Kings fans, I understand it, but I don't agree with it. Selfishly, some of them are like, oh, don't win the I hope Nas wins the sixth man, not him, because that'll just increase it. I want it. Screw it. Win the sixth man. I don't want to think like that. I think it's really simple. I don't think the Kings control it. I think Malik Monk's future is largely controlled by the Philadelphias and Orlandos of the world. It's really simple. If they
the offer actually
that's exactly right. If they believe that Malik Monk is worth 4 years and $100 million, I think he's probably gone.
Yeah.
And if not, if they go, then okay. I think if it comes down to Sacramento versus everyone else, and the numbers are within the margin of error, he's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, to me, my read on it, again, without true intel from Malik, I feel kind of what you're saying, Dave. It's like, I think he likes it here. I think he's had a good time. I think the fan base loves him. I think there's a lot of reasons to stay. But until you see what that offer is, to do the same job, it's not like he's changing, like when we all think of it, it's like, no, he's not changing jobs. He may change cities.
Yeah.
But, and the price point could be that much so different. And then the other part about this, the reason for maybe Malik to not only take it, let's say it's a 4-year offer from Orlando, it's also at 26. You kind of want to start the clock, because if Malik's great for those 4 years, he can get one more big one. Now, if he bets on himself with the Kings, I know it may not seem like much, but you're waiting a year, then you get paid a bunch. So you've already cost yourself 1 year. And then on the back end, you cost yourself again. And or an agent's going to look out for your best interest and go, here's the total pool you could make if everything goes right. Here's what it would probably be in Sacramento. And I think that overall difference is going to be substantial.
And I don't know enough about, in fact, I should ask this question. I know that you can do like a 2-year with a 1-year opt-out. But I do wonder if, honestly, could they sign him to a 4-year with a 1-year opt-out? I feel like I instinctively say they can't. I don't know why. I've just never heard of that. But, okay, let's just have fun. What if they could give him the full 478, give him a 1-year opt-out? Obviously, they cannot say, hey, do this, and then after a year, we'll sign you to a big, giant, fat deal, because that's really super illegal. But, hey, look, let's give you a 4-year deal so you have the security. We'll give you an opt-out, and that way, if things go great, you can opt out, and now we got to come to the table. And if they don't, you get hurt, God forbid, something happens, you at least have $80 million. I don't know. It's going to be and by the way, if they lose Malik Monk, it's not like they can use all of that available cap space, because there's limitations on that too. We will take a quick break. When we come back, 3 for Madness. Who didn't step up? We'll get back to the Malik Monk question. And was the season a failure? Just straight up. Was it a failed or less dramatic? Was this season a step back? I think is probably more accurate. We'll get to that in just 1 minute.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another 3-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down to 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before,
but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right. Coming up next, we got to look at other series, but yeah, that's going to be kind of the theme. It really is.
Wait, the NBA is still going on?
I know. Like, it's not just. I thought there was one playoff game worth of crap. We'll get to that. I thought there was one playoff game. You could argue but there was one game where I was like, okay, which is a hint right there. But no, it's just. I'll tell you one thing. Every home team won.
So far, 8-0.
3 for Madness. Christopher Lott, question 1, please.
Who specifically didn't step up Friday?
We talked about this in leading off. Again, my opinion here. I think I'm not going to overanalyze it. I thought Keegan Murray proved again that he is a different player on the road. At least he was this year than at home. Look, I get that Keegan's a sacred cow. I love him, and I think he's got a huge future, and we'll talk a lot about that. This is in no way, again, got to say it because things get taken out of context, Jason, as you know. This isn't a personal attack on these guys. This isn't me thinking that they didn't want to do. There's nothing malicious here. But Keegan Murray, it looked like the lights were too big for him. Offensively, he was 1 of 6 until late, 2 of 6 from 2 of 7 from beyond the arc. His shot was just off. And Keon Ellis, as wonderful, as amazing as he was against the Warriors, just wasn't there. It was an absolute stinker of a game. Fox and Sabonis, awesome, great. I have no complaints with them. And even Barnes, 17 points from Barnes. It doesn't tell the whole story. Plus, he had some huge defensive assignments there. And you have to credit that backcourt too. Let's not forget, a guy like CJ McCollum was effectively shut down.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, Brandon Ingram was just too good for these guys. I thought he was the difference maker. I think they were outscored, 30-something to 12, 34 to 12 on the bench. But if I'm pointing to who didn't step up, it's Keegan and it's Keon Ellis.
Yeah, I'm going to go it's like you said it perfectly. It's not a reflection of the season. This is the one game. To me, it's Keegan.
Yeah.
And I'm going straight there. And it's also partly because I know we can do it.
Yes.
Like Keon, I wasn't certain, and he had such a great game against the Warriors. I was like, wow, this is a really big stage, and he was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this was a really big stage, and he was not. But I put more on Keegan because of his importance to this team. I think where he's going to ultimately be. Let's put it this way, Dave. If Sabonis or Fox had the game Keegan had, they'd be getting crushed. And I think it's more disappointing because I think Keegan is that important to this team and can be that good and has been that good at times. So if I'm picking one, I hate to do it, but it's Keegan Murray.
And by the way, ifs and buts, of course.
Right.
But if Keegan Murray and Keon Ellis have anywhere near the games they had against the Warriors, we're talking about the game one in OKC on the show today. That's, to me, the bottom line. You lose as a team, but the question was who didn't step up. There you go. Question 2, please.
Question 2.
Was the season a failure?
I think the season was a step back. I don't think it was a failure. And let's be honest, if I'm really simplifying it, other than, relocation and off-court stuff, I think my favorite moment since 2002 and when the Bibby shot went through was that night against the Warriors. Now, some might say, and they have said, how pathetic is that? One of your top moments is knocking out a non-playoff team and you still miss the playoffs? Mm-hmm. And my answer would be, that's how bad it's been. To be there, whether you were there or watching on TV, and to see the joy in the fans' faces, You sent home, and Warriors fans get so upset at this. They get so triggered by it. But it's like, guys, you're so stupid. You don't even realize that counting this as one of the great moments in Kings history, if you do, it's such a compliment to the Warriors. It's such a compliment to the Warriors. If we had knocked out the Rockets, I mean, no offense to the Rockets, but okay. You sent home Draymond Green and Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You held Thompson to 0-10. You sent that whole group home. That's a huge moment. So for me, in a microcosm, this season did give me one of my all-time favorite Kings moments. But it's not about them losing the Pelicans. It's not even really about them giving that game back to the Suns or having 20-point leads in New York and Oklahoma City and blowing those, or being up 1 against Boston with 8 seconds left in the ball and losing. It's about Detroit. It's about Washington. It's about Charlotte. It's about Portland. It's about that blown lead in Phoenix earlier this year. It's 1, 2, 3 of those games go the other way, games they 100% should have won, and we're having a different conversation right now. That's, to me, they better learn those lessons, man, because that's not who they are.
Yeah, I mean, like semantics here, season of failure feels a bit harsh, but if the goal was to get to the second round, they didn't reach goals, right? They didn't even come close to that. But I also feel like this needs to be looked at in a longer version than just this season. Are they Chicago, where it's like, boom, blast, here they come, what a great year, and then they're not really very good.
Right.
So last year was a lot of fun. They made the playoffs. They made a statement this year based on the West being tougher. They didn't make it. They were a 46-win team. Look, the Warriors didn't make it. And if they'd beaten the Pelicans, a 49-win team would have not made it. So it was that competitive. But are they a 38-win team next year? Are they a 55-win team next year? I mean, I feel like it's what did they build off of this to continue kind of this group's story? It won't be the exact same team. So I feel like there's more to go.
Yes.
But for this season, I mean, I feel like disappointment feels better than failure. But I mean, if you want to be harsh, that's failure.
We're not at the end of the road with this team.
Right. Again, the parallels, if we go back to the early 2000s, the first time they went through, 5-game series with the Jazz. We're all excited. The next year, the record was a little better, but they didn't get through the first round.
Right.
It took them 3 years to advance around. And then, it took 4 years to get to the conference finals. So, and then the slow fall off happened after that. Now, is this the start of something or not? I would have thought before the year, the Warriors, the Kings, the Grizzlies would have all made the playoffs. The 3 didn't.
Yeah.
So will next year be similar to that? Will it be different? Will the Kings be in the mix? It's a big mystery. It's a
no
big
way to
offseason,
find out. Will there be injuries on other teams? Will there be injuries on the Kings? God forbid. Right. We just don't know. Number 3, please.
Straight up guess. Will they sign Monk?
Will the Kings sign Malik Monk? Straight up guess. I mean, we said extensively in the last segment. It's going to depend on his. I do not believe the Kings control their own destiny here. I think it's going to come down to the offer he gets. This is my best, and I think we should make it very, very clear here. There are times when we have sources close to the team, we have inside information, blah blah blah. We share that when we can, and sometimes we can't share that inside information, but we have sources close to the team that allows us to kind of guide inform our guidance of the audience. I think it's really important, at least I'm going to communicate. I have no knowledge. Nobody in his camp, nobody in the camp. I've not heard anything beyond, well, we think we have a good, we really hope so. We know he wants to stay, and that from Monk's camp. He wants to stay here. He loves it here. From the Kings, they really want to bring him back. That's the most inside information I can give you, and it's not inside.
Right.
So based on that, this being a pure guess, I believe the following. If one of those teams out there throws him a 4-year, $100 million deal, I believe he will leave and take that money. I very much believe that. If a team offers him somewhere in the neighborhood of what I think Kings are going to go right to him and say, hey, dude, 4 years, 78, here, we've already made it out. You know where we're coming from. We're not screwing around here. This is the absolute most we can do for you. You know that. Now, if you want to work on structuring and opt-outs, we're all game. You know the salary cap like we do. So we'll do whatever. And then I think Monk's camp will say, okay, cool. We'll get back to you. Gauge the offers. And if he's getting 4 years, 80, 4 years, 85, I think maybe even 4 years, 90, who knows? Okay. He might take a little haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we're getting into the triple digits, if we're getting into $100 million over 4 years, he goes. And it's 26. I can't blame the guy.
Yeah, and if that's the case,
yeah,
then it also feels like the second question we asked changes a little bit.
Voof.
Right? The season of failure. Well, if you end up losing Malik Monk, who I think will win Sixth Man of the Year, who was having a great season, and at the trade deadline when you had opportunities, maybe, I don't know what offers were out there, like that adds to kind of feeling like the season was a failure, right?
Yes.
So I don't think the season's over, but I don't think the final script of this year has been written yet. So that could either add to it or help it.
Can I also just add in a postscript to what you said, which is all true? It seems like Monty McNair he strikes when we least expect it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the draft pick situation. I understand the salary cap situation, but there are decisions that could be made out there that could radically change the way this team looks.
Like this summer, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't fall, not you. I'm saying don't fall for the idea that, they're absolutely stuck. Yeah, I know where the cap is. I know where the draft picks are. But we also don't know who's out there. We don't know who they might convey that pick to. We don't know if they can work something out with Atlanta. We don't know that Keegan Murray is still protected. Hell, we don't know if Fox. I mean, again, I think it would be ludicrous to think Fox and Sabonis are going somewhere. But, oh, my God, what if XYZ PDQ players show up and it's like, okay, you do. I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just saying there are always options if the right offer comes in or this guy's tired of this team and he wants out. Okay, let's figure something out with a third team. Let's not make the mistake of thinking Monty's completely handcuffed. It's just a matter of will the right situation show up and will he pull the trigger on that? So anyways, we will take a quick break. When we come back, East playoff series, we'll take a look. And you know what? We've got the West set up at 8 a.m., but screw it. Maybe if we get too bored with the East, we'll cover them both and then have a lot of other stuff to get to. Also, we need to have a conversation about Fox and Sabonis and what else they need as well. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at the other playoffs that are happening next.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SACLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with installation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
Just to make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Sometimes I usually can show Jason stuff on social media, and unlike Chris, who has seen everything.
Yeah, I'm surprised I've seen that.
Yeah, and so it was this picture. Some of you may have seen it, but it's like these three young girls sharing a hot chocolate or a coffee around a outdoor table with an umbrella and a.
What's funny, right from my angle right here is perfect because I see the other image from right here.
From your angle,
right here, right now, and then the second you turn it, I see the three girls.
I 100% can't. But the whole thing is like you're supposed to close your eyes and then barely open them.
No,
like,
seriously, come over here for 2 seconds.
Just squint at them.
You don't have to squint, like from or I don't know where it'll change for you, but from what angle?
My God, yeah. No,
see?
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, you see
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not making.
But then
a joke.
straight on, it's not even doctored. It's just a.
It's literally, hey, Verlad, hey, have you seen this? Okay, now close your eyes and just squint.
I can see it right now.
You can?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like this. It's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Like whether it's Jesus or they
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto. They could do a lot of. I wouldn't mind one with Will Clark. That'd be a cool little painting to have.
Yeah.
Have in your house. And be like, hey, squint. There's Jesus. I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what? The one I can't ever do. It's like the guy in what was that movie? Clerks. I'm the same guy. Like I can't ever do the squint in the sailboat thing, and you see the other thing. You know those pictures where like you have to
3D pictures,
huh?
The 3D pictures.
Is that what they? Yeah.
Sometimes I get them. Sometimes I don't.
I'm the worst. They're like, if you stare at it long enough, you're going to see the Milky Way. And I'm just
you have to unfocus your eyes.
I know, and maybe I'm just not a good eye unfocuser. I don't know, but
hey, unfocus your eyes.
Everyone else is like,
which is weird because you're so good at being unfocused at everything else.
That's a great point, except for my eyes. Wow, that was like he's kind of defending me by stabbing me in the ear. It was awesome. Interesting. By the way, hey Chris, how was your weekend? We spent enough time on our weekends.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it was okay.
Anything special? I mean, I know your soccer team won.
It was my uncle's birthday. Went over to his house, had a good time.
Tacos
Tacos galore.
Yeah.
Hey.
I wish I was there.
I love tacos.
I do too.
Can I tell you guys something weird? I understand this is like kind of sacrilege to a lot of people who are like, to like traditionalists.
Don't do it.
Can I just tell you, I've had a lot of tacos in my life. I've had tacos here. I've had tacos in Mexico.
I know what you're going to say.
I know what you're going to say.
Okay. Let's see what I'm about to say, guys. Because I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people are going to get mad at me. I just don't even care. All right. Should I say it or you want to show me?
No, say it.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, I love Jim Boy's tacos.
Oh, okay.
No?
I'm covering mine up.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to do an ad for them. I'm just saying they're so.
Who doesn't like Jim Boy's tacos?
Oh, well, no. Jason, San Antonio Puffy Tacos.
That's what I thought.
That is my favorite taco. There's no doubt about it.
All right,
yes.
so I had the right idea.
Oh, you did. 100%.
I did not anticipate Jim Boy's.
They're
good.
I love them. They're
good.
good. They're probably not good for you.
Probably not.
And I think they put American cheese on them. I think.
Yeah, but you like the cheese on the outside, huh?
Well, do they not? I know
so.
they have the Parmesan on the. They're just look. Is it guaranteed diarrhea? Yes. Is it worth it?
Well,
going
there goes our sponsor.
I'm just saying. I love them. It's the grease, man. Like, have you ever held up a Jim Boy's taco and just watched it drip? It's amazing, right? But I will pound out some Jim Boy's tacos, bros. I will all day. I'm kind of hungry. Honestly, might do Jim Boy's today. And also, not for nothing, since we're just either pissing off or making sponsors love us. I don't care what anyone says. If I'm hard up and hungry and I don't want to spend a lot of money and I just need something to eat and I got, I don't know if there's a term for it, but if it's late at night and you just really are very snacky, I don't think there's a term for that.
There's not.
Do it.
You know what? I don't care.
Yes.
Give me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give me them Jack in the Box tacos, baby.
6 Jack in the Box tacos.
I usually can't.
Two will work.
Yeah, 2 will work. 4 if I haven't eaten all day.
2 is good.
I don't know what they're filled with.
Something.
Soy.
And a lot of it too is I love their sauce. The spicy, the sauce. Del Taco, without a doubt, has the best. I'm just telling you, they have the best fast food sauce. Their mild, Del Taco mild sauce is. I would probably take shots of it. Like it is the best.
Get an IV drip.
100,000%. But Jack in the Box, I'm just saying, there's no shame in that. I don't think. Says the fat guy. All right, I wasted enough time avoiding talking about the Eastern Conference playoff series, Jason, because I don't care.
Yeah.
They're not fun yet.
So on the first of our many flights home, I was watching Orlando and Cleveland, like that started the playoffs. And just, we're after the Kings-Pelicans game. You're watching that going, Kings are in the wrong division. They do just fine in this series. And it just, there wasn't a lot of zip or pep in that. I'm like, this is a playoff game. Come on, Cleveland.
It's just not there.
Let's go.
Man. I don't know what it is.
That was the first one. You're like, yeah, this series will.
Right. Yeah. 114-94, 20-point win for the Celtics.
Oh, man. And they got off to like a 17-2 start. They're going to be, obvious. They're going to be tough to beat.
I'll tell you arguably the most interesting. It's a series you and I both we're looking forward to. So the Knicks beat the Sixers 111-104. Yeah. That's not the thing, though. If I'm Philly, man, I'm seriously thinking about shutting Embiid down. He's not right.
So you saw when he went down,
I did.
And then just that whole one eye blinking, like what was happening?
I don't know.
That was scary.
It was really scary.
And then he came back in.
You can tell, like, he was out and then he came back and it was too early and then he was out for a lot longer. Remember, let's go back and remember, by the way, that there was an uproar about Joel Embiid load managing. Mm-hmm. That's how this whole thing started. He wasn't right. He sat out a game or two. I know there was a big uproar about it. And then he came back early. Then he really injured his leg, his knee, whatever it is. And then he was out for months. And it still feels like he came back early. Joel Embiid is a perennial MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm.
He probably would have won the MVP this year had he been healthy, or at least he would have been second at worst. He ain't right, man. He ain't right. And if there's a thought of doing long-term stuff, now look, if they're like, hey, look, you're going to have this offseason surgery anyways, worst case scenario, you tear a bunch of crap and you're still going to have the same surgery. You'll be back in October.
Right.
Great. Fine. But I don't think that's the case, man. At some point, and now I think, did I just see Tyrese Maxey's questionable for tonight?
Oof.
It looks like, that's what scares me. It does not look like Embiid's right.
And it's, the one part of that on the offshoot is it's really cool to see big basketball in New York right now. Like the Knicks those fans are having fun.
They are. And good for them.
Yeah.
They say Madison Square Garden's the mecca of basketball.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Here's a matchup.
Here's a guy.
Shout out Jim Cosmore. Milwaukee and the Pacers.
Yes.
Pacers had dominated Milwaukee pretty much all year. You didn't have Giannis.
Yes.
And Dame Lillard had, I think, 39 points in the first 4 minutes, something like that.
All of it.
Yeah,
None
I
in the
feel like
second
I'm
half.
close. Yeah, Dame was really, really good. What did he have? Like 2 points after that?
No, I think it was 35 and a half and none in the second half, I think. Thought it was.
Yeah, I think I thought he had, what did he have in the first quarter, dude? Did he have 30 in the first? Let me read. He had something stupid in the first quarter. Yeah, he scored all 35 before halftime. But I want to say if he didn't have 30, he had close to 30 in the very first. Oh, excuse me. Well, and by close to 30, I mean 19 is more than halfway. He had 19 in the first, 11 in the second, or whatever that was. No, 16 in the second. Hey, math.
Yeah.
It's what's
fun.
for dinner. Yeah. So, but
that still could be a long series, though.
Can I just say something to be petty?
Sure. We like petty.
And we know how I really feel, but I'm just going to be petty here. Chris is smiling. You know where I'm going?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm all for it.
Chris is allowing it already.
If Domantas Sabonis had 9 points on 7 shots in 38 minutes, the amount of you guys got owned by the Pacers in that trade would be off the hook.
If Fox had those numbers, they would say he got rid of the wrong point guard.
1 trillion %. And then Fox has 30 plus, does his thing, they lose. Now, I personally think that Tyrese Halliburton, since he got that injury, has not been the same guy. And, you know, in all seriousness, Tyrese Halliburton is a very, very good player. He's beyond a very, very good player. But my goodness, woofaroni, 9 points, 8 assists, 7 boards. I mean, that's pretty decent. But just 7 shots throughout. And even though it was 109-94, I think Milwaukee just kind of fell asleep in the third quarter. It wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
I thought that, you know, look, it's one game, but if they did that without Giannis,
yeah. Well, what's the saying? Playoffs don't start till the road team wins a game. Nothing started, right? With all the East and the West being undefeated at home so far, 1 game apiece. And look, all these Eastern Conference teams will need to battle. They'll need to try. I think Miami will make it hard on Boston, but who's beating that team?
Who's beating Boston?
Uh-huh.
I don't see anyone beating Boston.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone beating Boston. I think Boston would have to beat themselves, or God forbid an injury or
Sure.
something. But I said,
like Tatum had that nasty fall late, but he was fine. But something like that, you just don't want to see.
Sometimes just don't. And by the way, it wasn't dirty. Go back and look at the replay. Drew Holiday straight push, dude. Like it wasn't. There wasn't anything going on there. Speaking of, how nothing matters until. I would say this. I get it, and you're right, and I get it. But when you're an actual NBA team, you may not want to put it like the Bucks put out like a hype video getting into the playoffs, as all teams do. And the first line was, "What happened in 82 games, nobody really cares. It's what you do now." Now, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just also kind of question, is it a good look for an NBA team to basically come out and say the regular season absolutely doesn't matter and you shouldn't care?
Yeah, because people will remember that you said that for next year.
Right. So when they're coming out with the unfinished business, game 1,
or higher ticket prices.
Right.
Wait,
Well, hold on.
Didn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What you literally said, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You bunch of wieners.
Right.
That's what I'd say. And that's it, right? Let's see. Did we miss one? Oh, yeah. All right, Cavs and Magic.
Yeah.
Yes. Franz Wagner. Yeah, Wagner. Donovan Mitchell. That's like the who cares series. And I know that, like, as a Kings fan, I'd be mad if somebody else said that about us. But, like, who outside of Cleveland and Orlando right now cares? I mean, good for Orlando. They're in. Young team, right direction.
Yeah.
Good for Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell might be gone this year. By the way, to the person on the text line who keeps saying, I think there's more than one. Keeps saying the Kings should make a run at DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan. Rumor has it that the Bulls have already reached out with a 2-year, $80 million offer. Yeah, it's my money. I'm not paying DeMar DeRozan $40 million to play for the Kings.
You will not.
I will not.
Yeah.
I called Vivek and I said, no.
Okay.
Bad. He was like, no, I wasn't going to do it anyways. Bad. No. We'll take a break. When we come back, Domantas Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, the cornerstones of this franchise. But can they do it on their own? What do they need? We'll talk about it next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton and Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advanced can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $35.99. Get started on your next job today with the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity 10G, the network made for streaming. Well, as the A's continue this final season in Oakland, I think it's important to remember that the Coliseum has been home to some of the greatest names in the game. August 17th, before the A's play the Giants, the A's will honor Jose Canseco, Terry Steinbach, Miguel Tejada, Bill King, Dick Williams, and Eddie Juice from the Philly days as the latest members of the A's Hall of Fame.
Want more speed? Well, Xfinity just increased their internet speeds, and they're faster than ever. It's time to get more out of your internet with faster speeds from Xfinity. Now through June 21st, get 150 megabit Xfinity internet for only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. That's double the speed for the same great price. Click, call, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment, taxes, and other charges extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, we still have to get to the Western Conference series. Still have to talk about those. After the Kings were already dismissed on Friday, that's the harsh reality of all this. It just comes to an end. Just cut off, just like that. After losing to the Pelicans for a 6th time this season. 0-6. Man, that team has been the nemesis in more ways than one. Obviously, the Kings not being able to beat them. The Pelicans, when the Kings were looking for some help, didn't help at all. And now they find themselves down 1-0. A game they could have won last night, but they did not. We'll get in the West Series coming up, but I know we've got more on your Sacramento Kings.
Did you say moron?
I did.
That was my cue.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that the core of this team is Fox and Sabonis, right?
Yeah. Okay. I would put Murray, but maybe not everybody does.
I agree. I agree with both things you just said.
Yeah.
If you ask me what is the holy triad, it's Keegan Murray. And we're going to spend time grading him, as we will every other player.
Yeah, but also with that statement for me on my behalf, it's also they're all touchable. When I say they're not untouchable.
And you know my rule on that. There's arguably 3 players in the NBA that are untouchable. That's it. Nobody's untouchable.
Right.
Sorry.
I'm not seeking, wouldn't want to trade any of them, but if someone offered a deal you just couldn't refuse or you thought would clearly make the team better, you do it.
And obviously there's a difference between I cannot imagine a scenario where you would trade De'Aaron Fox or DeMontis. I can imagine it, but it's like the Spurs call.
Right.
The Denver calls, right. Giannis call, whatever. Like, it's that silly.
Yeah.
So for all intents and purposes, I would put Fox and Sabonis as, let's just call them the most valued.
Right.
I'd put Keegan on the next pedestal, but it is the next pedestal.
Yeah.
Look, if somebody calls and they really, and Keegan is your key, I won't even say the player, but whoever it might be that makes a difference, a guaranteed difference. Like, this is our guy. Let's say it was. I mean, for example, if I'll give you an example that can't happen. In a world where Pascal Siakam was still out there, and they wanted Keegan Murray for Pascal Siakam, maybe even a pick, you really would have to think about that.
Right.
Like, really think. If he was going to sign and be here.
Sure.
And all that
stuff. The good and bad with Keegan is the good is, as he's a king, he's paid the rookie contract. Mm-hmm. So it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
The bad part is if you were even entertaining dealing him, the value you would get back wouldn't be the same. Like, you think he's playing above that contract.
Right.
So you're getting someone that's at a similar contract that's probably not as good as Keegan.
And you're also getting his attitude, his way,
and where he's going to be.
Right. So. And we'll get into it more. But when you look at, for example, he played 3 less games this year, but he averaged 4 more minutes a game. And he improved his shooting from the field, Jason. Last year, he shot 45.3%. This year, he shot 45.4%.
Wow, I would not have guessed that, though.
He improved.
Yeah.
He did fall off almost 6 points from beyond the arc, but he made almost as many, 2.6 a game to 2.4 this year. Up a half a rebound, up a full rebound, up a half an assist, and exactly 3 more points per game. Now,
better defensively.
And far better defensively, and also opened up his game a little bit more. It wasn't just Keegan in the corner.
Right.
If you extrapolate that and you say, okay, well, what if he makes the same leap next year? Okay, well, now you have a guy who's scoring a little over 18. You have a guy who's pulling down 6 boards, 2.5 assists, a block a game, and playing really good defense and being fairly efficient.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, they can't do it on their own. They need the Kings. Forget about Monk for a second, because that is what it is. The Kings are going to need another. I would prefer a bigger leap even from Keegan next year. And do we both agree that leap is there?
Yeah, I think it can happen.
Okay. I think that's huge. And then I think they just need to shore up the 2 and the 3.
Mm-hmm.
I love them both to death. They're arguably my 2 favorite people on the team. I certainly could make a case that way. But I swear to God, if the Kings come into next season with Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter at the 2 and the 3, I'm going to riot.
Yeah.
Not riot for real.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I got to believe they know that.
I think they do.
Not those 2, but the front office.
Yeah, I think they all know.
And if you just go to the end of last year, I think we probably wrapped up last season saying Fox, Sabonis, Huerter, Monk, Lyles, Keegan's first year, all had their best years as a pro.
Yes.
And this year, I would say it's Sabonis, Monk. Maybe that's it. I mean, I guess we just debated maybe Keegan's, year 2 was a little bit better, maybe in some ways. Fox, I mean, had a really good year. To say it was better than the year before, I don't know. It's really close. But the list is shorter is the point, right? Of people that had, like Herder had a step back. Barnes had a step back. Yeah. Lyles didn't have the same year. The bench, the moves Monty made, right? The biggest moves were adding JaVale McGee. Okay. I actually liked that. I thought that would have a bigger impact. It didn't. Keeping some players was important in Trey Lyles, but it was really Sasha and Duarte, and that didn't pan out.
Well, I will say this to your point. I said to take a look, but I feel pretty comfortable in saying this. I think Fox had his career year this year.
Okay, so then we're good. But the list is again shorter than the year before, and I do think that Fox, Sabonis, and an improving Murray are a really good start.
I agree.
Now, if you lose Monk, that's a big gap
problem
to fill. And if you are changing out Herder and Barnes, or part of that, that's a lot of minutes, not necessarily starter, but some of them are starters, minutes to allocate there. That's a lot of work.
And by the way, just a quick note on Fox. Fox scored a full 1.6 points more per game than he did last year, and that is a career high. Fox almost doubled his steals from last year, led the league. That's obviously a career high. His assists were right with his career averages. He had a career high in rebounds, and he averaged 2.9 made threes per game. His previous high was 1.8. Those are significant. Yeah. Also, a career high in average minutes played at 35.9. He averaged leader. Yeah, he averaged 36 minutes a game, led the league in steals, and scored just under 27 points a game. That is borderline superstar status. That is certainly star and definitely all-star status. So you have, as you said, you have Murray, kind of, Sabonis, Monk, and Fox all having career years. And am I wrong by saying, Jason, of the two, if you told me one of Barnes or Herder was going to come back and start, maybe I'm being a little pie in the sky here, but I'm kind of interested to see how Herder looks coming off this surgery, especially the way we heard that he had been battling with it. We all know that he was a completely different player after the 3-point contest last year. I'd love to get him on. We should. We have his number, damn it, and ask him, like, is this something? Because he said it's been bothering him.
Right.
Just makes you wonder, do you give up on the guy too quick when we've seen what he can do? There's also defensive limitations there as well. So we'll take a break. When we come back, let's hit the West playoff series. Here's a hint. Every home team won. But I think a little bit more entertaining, at least in one of the games. My favorite series, my favorite game of the weekend happened here. So we'll talk about that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SacLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Caller
As well.
Final Frankie.
Yeah. I want to say something about the A's. So I feel like I need to write another article because I think the plot's getting twisted a little bit here, just by a couple people, but I think there's a few people that feel like I do. I've stated my case that there's no denying the benefit the A's coming here would give us. There is no denying the economic benefit, the boost to the city, everything. And I ride or die for this city nonstop. I also do believe there's a path for the team to stay in Oakland, and I believe it's part of the Sacramento playbook, which is you block Fisher's path everywhere, like we did with the Maloofs. He eventually sells, and it's open bidding. And as Casey Pratt has told us, not only Joe Lacob, but a number of other people would love to buy the A's and get the Howard Terminal deal and keep them there. And as long as there's an opening there, I really struggle ethically with the whole thing. Now, you and I are on different paths, but we're very, very close, I think, in how we feel. It's just a little bit of a divergence. But I want to talk about once the A's play here, because a lot of it, I have seen some people that are like, so when the A's get here, right, you're not going to any games. You're not going to talk about it on the radio, I would assume. You don't want them here. I'm like, no, of course not. Look, when the A's A's open next year in Sacramento, I'm on board, man. Of course I will be. And if we end up broadcasting them, if we'll go down to spring training, we'll cover them. I'm not going to be the guy in the corner with my arms crossed. It's one of those, look, yeah, well, I have my arms crossed right now in the corner. It's one of those things where it's like, look, in the process of the whole thing, we should share what we think. And I'm not trying to, break my arm on my back here, but it's not a popular opinion to have an ethical issue with this. The easy way to go would be, let's go. I don't care. Nobody in Oakland serves my needs, and your needs. We broadcast to the greater Sacramento area. Yes, there are A's fans here, but the vast majority are Sacramentans. And there's no issues with being on board with, hey, it's the billionaires. It's not our fault. Well, it isn't our fault. It is the billionaires. But I think that no matter whether it's popular or unpopular, you say what you say, how you feel, and I happen to feel, whether you agree with it or not, that I don't want to take any leverage away, and I don't want to help John Fisher. I've said that. It's good. I made my point. Once they get here, it's all in, baby. Because why would I possibly root against the city? Why would I root against my city? Why would I not want to support? I will still say I don't like the way they got here, and I feel for Oakland fans. And when, not if, but when they show up and they're doing the protests and all that stuff, I might even throw on one of them green cell shirts again and be a part of that thing, just in solidarity. But and I know there's other people that feel the way I do about them coming, but once they're here, to not at least support them on behalf of the city, to me, that's also unethical to me.
Yeah.
But I'll never support John Fisher, and I'll always be vocal about that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah. I'm able to, and maybe some can't, and that's okay. I can separate that part.
Yeah.
Like, in theory, if you buy a ticket to go to an A's game, either in Oakland now or here or wherever, are you putting money? Like, that's not the kind of thing that's lining his. Like, when you're lining his pockets. No, that's not. That's the TV deals. That's expansion. That's stadium. That's naming rights. I look at that as my form of entertainment.
Yeah,
family's form. I'm taking friends, coworkers.
I'm taking my kids.
Whatever.
Family.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I don't think of that the same. Like, I never think of that I'm supporting an actor or an actress or a group. Like, I'm just going because I like them. I want to see this.
I think what you're dancing around is a really good point, Jason. It's art and artist.
Yeah.
It's art and artist.
Right.
One of my favorite artists of all time is Michael Jackson.
I agree.
Ew.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
I still like his music.
100%.
I
still listen to it.
Yeah.
I listened to Earth Song 2 days ago. Like that song.
Yeah.
Why?
Why do I like Earth Song?
Why? I'm thinking of
Human Nature.
Human Nature.
Because I was about to go into a whole soliloquy as to why.
It's a jam.
I'll never forget, and I will always be indebted as a Kings fan to Kevin Johnson. 100%.
Right. Two things can be true.
Kings aren't here without him.
Correct.
Now, could other things be true? Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a tough, it's one of those stone glass house, whatever.
Right.
Like every single person what are you going to do? You can not go to a Kings game?
Right.
You're gonna say they should have left?
Yeah.
I can't support.
We've got more than 10,000, 100,000 things that could be causes.
Yes.
We don't do all of them.
No. Now there's lines.
Individuals.
Right. Yes. And there's lines. Like, look, weirdly enough, right now, there's a whole separate conversation, shockingly, on YouTube, and it involves bringing Miles Bridges to the Sacramento Kings.
Okay. Now, some would be like, I would never support that.
I would never support that. I'm one of them. I never would.
And I'm not saying you're right or wrong. And others like, I never would. Care. And win as many games as you can.
100%.
Yeah.
Tis what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to an A's game when they come here.
Would you, though? What if it was like I
don't think I'll be able to afford the ticket.
You're given a ticket.
If I'm given a ticket, I'll go.
What if you get a big raise? Well, hold on. That's a year from now. What if you get a big raise at work?
I think that's coming for Chris.
I'll tell you this much. Chris, how long have you been here?
15 years.
15 years. Chris has been here. On time, does his thing. whatever. Does he have a cranky personality sometimes? Maybe.
Does he?
Does he laugh at other people's misfortunes? Perhaps.
Yes. Confirmed.
Does he have a really dark sense of humor? Sometimes. Is he one of the most reliable people and consistent people at the station? Absolutely. I would say this. I'm not in charge of anything, but I would just say this. And I'm sure he is very well. I don't get into that. I'm sure he's incredibly well compensated. But if anybody,
give him all the money.
Give him all the money. That's what I say. And then go get some more and give that to him too.
So after you make the Southwest call for Jason,
prior to
you make a phone call for me.
I'll do better than that. I will donate out of my salary. I will 100%. I'm serious about this.
To Southwest?
Oh, I will give up a minimum or a maximum of $100 a year to Chris. Just tell me where to sign. Whatever I'm making.
You're going to give him 100 of it. That's nice of you.
100 after tax. That's pretty much.
If he got everybody in the building to do that.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Hey, Cindy. What do you need? Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Hey, Chet.
Yeah.
$100.
Hey, Sep.
Hey, Sep. Hey, Kent. Hey, Marsh. Have a car wash out front. Bake sale.
What would you bake?
What would I bake for a Cage TK bake sale? Baking's my weakness, man.
Oh,
it's my weakness.
You have the gadgets for it.
I do. It's my weakness because you got to be exact and disciplined. Whereas with food, you can just go here and throw in, Swedish Chef.
Yeah.
Baking, you got to be like, I need a 0.5 gram in volume, not weight, of baking powder, and I'm just like, no, throw it all in. Let's go.
Is that your cooking voice?
That's yes. It's
Cooking with Dave.
It's my deep Julia Child voice. Okay, all right. Let's be. No, we're not making weed brownies, you idiots. Get out of here. Although
they would sell.
I'm not
quite well.
From the
HTK, the highest revenue station in all of the land.
The highest.
Occasionally you walk in here and it smells like someone's making brownies.
It really does.
Sorry.
Hi. And we have the Jim Boy's truck right next to us, which is mysteriously being
I
overrun.
Like tacos.
All right, the Western Conference playoffs.
Who's playing? Who cares?
Whatever. I mean, I know who's not playing, the Kings. Isn't that what we care about?
So where are you on the Thunder Pelicans series?
The Plunder Pelicans?
Yeah. And where are Kings fans, you think, on that? I know you did the poll.
Yeah, we did the poll, and almost 70% of Kings fans are rooting for the Thunder, or at least not rooting for the Pelicans. I'm weirdly rooting for the Pelicans, but it's like a Kings thing. Like, I love the Thunder. I love Sam Presti, but part of me, I want to see the Thunder do like legit damage in the playoffs because, look, it's not going to fix anything, but somehow I would weirdly feel better about going 0-6 and being knocked out by a team that was like in the Western Conference Finals than a team that was a first round out.
Now we've already had one game, so this question won't be the exact, but I'm going to word it this way anyway. Which would make you more angry as a Kings fan? A Thunder 4-0 sweep, or if the Pelicans had swept them, which obviously they can't now, I guess in 5.
I wouldn't have been angry at all if the Pelicans swept them.
Then you'd been like, that could have been the Kings.
No, yeah,
I know it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Or if you go, Pelican, probably what the Warriors are thinking a little bit like, you got not only celebrated, but you beat us, and then you went ahead and lost. Like, we would have gone and beat the Pelicans.
And they might have. I mean, we've seen how the Pelicans do against every other team. It's weird. It's weird. I look at the Pelicans having 33 losses. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
Like 6 of their 49 wins came against us. It's like 10% or something. I understand that because that's kind of like the Lakers Nets corollary in 2002. Uh-huh. But I don't know. It feels a little bit different here because I understand that the style is so much a part of this thing. That being said, you look at I think the series will get better, but the Clippers handled the Mavs no problem. That's without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves just pooped all over the Suns.
Yeah.
Like that was an eclipse by 25. I have no reason to feel. Did I originally pick the Suns? Why do I feel like I did? If I did, I was joking. And the Nuggets, I did say I think the Nuggets will just thrash the Lakers.
Lakers had a halftime lead. I'm like, okay. And
and the Nuggets just nuggeted.
Yeah, they did.
I will say though, the Pelicans Thunder game one was everything I was hoping and thought it would be. That was just a fun couple of teams. Neither scored 100 points.
Right.
Just there was
right down to the end.
Right down to the end. Some of it was defense. A lot of it, I think, was just nerves and craziness. I mean, hell, the Knicks were 111-104 over the Sixers. There were two games in which neither team scored 100 points. There was that game, the Thunder and Pelicans, and then the Cavs and Magic. But watching that game was more like they just weren't good enough to score 100 points is what it felt like.
Right.
This was and I don't know what the status is necessarily on Zion. I probably should look that up. How far they need to go to get Zion back. But it just makes you wonder. 94-92. The Thunder did win, but man, I expect this series. I would be really surprised if this was anything less than 6 or 7 games.
I only saw the play. I saw the game, but I saw the play once at the end. Didn't watch any of the post game. Was CJ shot a 3 with time expiring? Like he kind of does the fake and step up and under.
Yeah, I think
I don't know if that was for the win or for the tie.
No,
I never figured out.
Yeah, I think his feet were behind, and then he kind of jumped ahead, which would have been a 3. That's how I saw it.
Got it.
We'll take a break, just a quick minute break here, everybody. When we return, King's exit interviews are today. What would you ask if you were in charge as well? And of course, we will have a lot of sound for you on that coming up next. After that, we'll look at some of the award finalists announced by the NBA, including our very own Malik Monk. But exit interviews, and what would you ask the Kings? That's coming up right after this.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He stopped the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them. With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise. No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures. It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
In his last 5 events, Scottie Scheffler, the world's #1 golfer, has won the Arnold Palmer, won the Players' Championship, took second in the Texas Children's Tournament, won the Masters, and then thanks to a rain delay, won the RBC Heritage this morning. That's $16 million in winnings in the last 44 days. And that, again, I'll say it again, that is a Tiger-esque run.
Yeah.
So,
the game of golf.
Like he's already won Golfer of the Year, right? It would take a lot of work to
crazy.
Yeah.
And but the good news is, as if he is a very nice, very humble guy, but he's about to get really, really humbled. Maybe not on the golf course, but as soon as that baby pops out, it's his first. Good luck, Scotty.
Yeah.
Guess who doesn't care about your $44 million in winnings?
The Bebe.
The Bebe filling that diaper.
Yeah.
And maybe he's got some. He doesn't strike me as the type of guy that's going to have the maid change the kid. So good luck, pal. Good luck at 3 a.m. when Bebe decides it's hungry or whatever the crap babies do. Selfish
crap.
SABs. Selfish ass babies. The Kings are having their exit interviews today. Here's how it works. Every player will meet with the coaching staff, then generally the front office. And when we say interviews, they'll kind of be given, hey, let's talk about the season. What do you do in the summer? Here's what we'd like to see.
Yeah, you get like an off-season workout kind of deal. A lot of the coaches go and visit with them too.
Yes, you saw Luke Laux and De'Aaron, which De'Aaron pretty much is married to a coach, so we're not going to have to worry about his workouts. And then they'll also do exit interviews with the media. I mean, the bright side is for these guys as people is, they're basically on the road or taken up with basketball 6-7 months out of the year, and now they're going to go on the road, and but in a different way. Spend time with families, go back home, do their thing. Everybody just kind of takes off, and we'll see them. You'll see them in the summer. You'll see. There'll be guys that'll show up and work out and do stuff. But this is kind of where they're going to take a break for a while.
Yeah, there's a couple of schools of thought here. I always found this interesting because it's something Doug Christie would do, and when Doug was here, he talked about it. His thing whenever his season ended.
Yeah.
He kept, like, a lot of times people are like, all right, I got to get away for a little while. Yeah. He kept going through the finals.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to have that, like, this is what it's going to take. And then he would shut down for a little while. So some guys might be done today.
Right.
And it's like, I need to get away. And that's fine.
Yeah.
But I always found that interesting that I was like, no, I'm going to work the next, in this case, it'd be like 6 more weeks because that's what it would take to be a champion.
I love hearing that. And I love the idea of these guys. I'd love to hear that these guys are like, nope, we're in the weight room the next day. Yeah. And 9 of us stayed. And we're, of course you want to hear that. But at the same time, realistically, some of these guys, like, for example, De'Aaron Fox, I don't want him doing that.
Yeah.
Like, go sit on a couch, dude, and play with your kid and get a little fat. Like, not fat, but, maybe 5-6 pounds. Tiny little, not a spare tire, but like a spare tire on like a Hot Wheel. Like a tiny spare tire. He needs to rest his body.
Yeah.
Domantas Sabonis probably needs to rest his body. But if you were, we're asking the audience here too at 1-800-920-1140. What do you ask? What do you ask these guys? I mean, obviously, is this year a disappointment? Would you consider this year a step back? I imagine the answers will be somewhere ranging from anytime you don't win a championship is a disappointment.
Yeah. I wonder what they think they need. Like, we always, give our thoughts and our analysis on it, but I wonder what they think they need.
It would be interesting because that's almost always a question that is a different answer than it is when the mic isn't on. As a team, you're not going to get De'Aaron Fox saying, we really need help at the 3. Right. Oh, well, thanks, Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
Like, that's nice. You're never going to, you're going to get a lot of
size. Like just a generic
stuff. I leave that to the front office, length, girth.
Yeah.
Upsizematters.com. It's a tough one to ask, but I guarantee you, I can promise you this, that when name the player, Fox, Sabonis, Monk, whoever, that when they're sitting around the fire in their backyard talking to their spouses or friends or family or whoever, they know exactly what they need. And they're naming names. They know exactly what has to happen. They know that, but that's up to Monty.
Right.
That's up to that front office. And they got a long off season to deal with that, Jason, because you don't want to get caught in a rut. Monty always said when he came on, and he'll continue to say, we'll try to get money on this week, that they don't want to be a one and done.
All right.
Although technically
they were this year.
A new playoff streak has started at 1. But I think we can all agree that this is going into next year. If they, God forbid, did run it back again, which I do not believe they will do, 45 to 50 win team, somewhere, and you can never control what goes on around you, but somewhere between, I would say their ceiling would be a 4 seed and their floor is a 9-10 again.
Yeah. I feel like, without the offseason even getting here, it could be a similar year to this year. And I still remember before the year started when I think we were making predictions on the Kings. And my stance then was, I feel like if everything went right, I really feel like they could have been a 1 seed. Everything didn't go right, and that sounded crazy. I'm like, but look who became the 1 seed, OKC. They didn't make the playoffs last year. Minnesota was fighting for it all year. They were at the bottom. They were a play-in team. So I think the difference between the top and really like 11 to 12 isn't that much, but it was enough with injuries and missed opportunities that 46 wasn't enough. What's 46 going to get you next year? It could be 5. It could be 12. I mean, we just don't know. It's a year-to-year deal. And there's some teams that finished even worse than the Kings that you can't just think, oh, they're going to be better than them for sure. At some point, Wemby and the Spurs will be something to deal with.
Will.
Houston may be a lot better.
Yes.
They were flirted with things. I anticipate Memphis will be a problem. So, but I also did not think that the Kings and Warriors would miss the postseason, and they both did.
Well, and we can screw ourselves into the ground all day doing this, but when you look at the West, let me just run through real quick.
Yeah,
Oklahoma City getting worse.
I mean, I don't. If I'm
barring
guess,
injury,
I don't think they'll be a 1 seed. I think that's fair to say, but I don't know what worse means.
They're missing the playoffs next year. Oklahoma City.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, I mean, honestly, if we had this last year at this time and the Kings were 3rd, we weren't predicting them to miss the playoffs.
That's true. That is true.
Right?
That is true.
Would you have thought the Warriors would have either?
No.
So
when I look down at the 5 teams that didn't make it, again, just where we're at right now, Memphis is going to be knocking on that door again, if not better.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, they're getting, John Morant, and they're getting a lot back. You mentioned it, San Antonio, 22-60, but that's they're doing fine,
right?
And then you could look at is Utah and Portland get it?
Yeah.
But this is when I look at the teams that are in it again. If the Lakers clean house, the Warriors will always be around. But Clips, Mavs, Suns, T-Wolves, Nuggets, Thunder, I don't think they're falling out unless somebody gets
Dallas did last year.
They did.
They were 11th. I wouldn't have thought that.
Would not have thought that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes, though, I thought in his conversation, we'll go over this a few times over the next few days. Anthony Slater and Sam Amick did a wonderful job kind of deep diving the end of the season, talking about Mike Brown's contract, how that could become an issue. But Domantas Sabonis, before we get to Harrison, says he feels like the Kings got better. They just couldn't finish some games. We dropped a couple. The West is tougher, and we kind of put ourselves in a bad situation. I love what Harrison Barnes said, and when don't I love what Harrison Barnes says? He says, it's easy to focus on the last 2 weeks. People say, look at the Dallas games, the back-to-back against the Pelicans and Suns. But I think there's a lot of games early in the season. Games we didn't show up. By the way, that is an incredible quote. We had games where we didn't show up. That's a confirmation of when we're yelling about, like, they didn't even show up. We'll get to that quote a little bit later, but I love that he was honest about it. We had games we didn't show up, games where we didn't have the right approach. Stack those up. You look where things finish. If we would have had 3, 4, 5 more wins, where would we be? And they had some numbers to kind of support that, despite going 0-6 against the Pelicans. The Kings went 15-8 against 6 of the 8 Western Conference playoff teams. Swept the Lakers, 3-1 against the Nuggets, 2-1 against the Timberwolves, and they split with the Thunder, the Clippers, and the Suns. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got award finalists that have been announced by the NBA, the final 3. We'll get to all of those. And in the meantime, I spoke to you before we break real quick, Chris. I spoke to you about, you and I were both in New Orleans, and we were both surprised at the Smoothie King Center and how loud it was and how they were able to maintain that energy all the way through the fourth quarter. I am convinced that they switched to electric through our friends at American Energy Heating and Air, and that's exactly where they got it. They call it the blender. Blender! Whatever they call it. I can tell you this, American Energy calls saving money a good thing. I just made that up, but I'm pretty sure they agree. And they want you to switch to electric. Get rid of those stupid PG&E bills, man. Switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Get ahead of those energy bills and go up in the summer and get up to $9,000 in rebates. on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. They'll do the work for you, not just installing it. I'm saying they'll do all the rebate work. They'll help you fill out all the paperwork. They'll make sure everything's, I don't know if it's a UPC code or whatever they have to send off, but they'll do it. And they're providing huge rebates from SMUD as well, spring specials. By installing one of the many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now, you can take advantage of that. Get rid of the fluctuating gas bills in the winter. Switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis. See where American Energy can help you save for the warmer months ahead. They're the best. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That is 916-520-9990. AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. Award finalists announced by the NBA, including one Sacramento King. We'll do that next.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, back to a new work week. Looking at a comfortable start to the day. It's pretty mild outside. Into the afternoon, it's going to be plenty warm with plenty of sunshine and highs today, mid to upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Spring savings continue at Folsom Lake Kia. Low payments, special offers, zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
With a variety of weekly promotions, there's something for everyone to enjoy at a Sacramento River Cats game. Don't miss a Toyota Family Value Tuesday featuring $2 hot dogs and $2 ice cream, or Thirsty Thursday featuring ice cold beer. Join us on Smut Orange Fridays for happy hour and live music. And don't forget to stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with post-game fireworks. Find all promotional details at rivercats.com and make your plans to head out to Sutter Health Park this season.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley with special guest, Foghat. ZZ Top, playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tub Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
I'll miss that.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay.
All right. It is the day after, even though it's 2 days after, but it's the day after. And we have some award finalists to share with you. It's really, really interesting. Or is it? MVP. And by the way, these are not in order. It's just the finalists. Luka Doncic. Nikola Jokic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jason Ross.
Yes.
Who will win?
My pick would be Nikola Jokic.
Mine too, and that's who will almost certainly win. This is an interesting one. There's 3 finalists, but I think there's only really 2. Rookie of the Year, Victor Wembanyama. Rudy Gobert.
No.
Bam. What?
Oh, defensive player there. You said
sorry.
rookie.
No. I was saying he's going to be the rookie.
Oh,
sorry.
gotcha.
I should have probably clarified that. Sorry, chat. But Wembanyama, Gobert, or Bam Adebayo. This is an interesting one between Wemby and Gobert. I would pick Victor Wembanyama, but Gobert's like the guy every year. There's good cases for both.
Is it funny that I feel like in this case, defensive player of the year, like there is no
wrong answer?
No, there's no worry about record.
Meaning you think record should matter?
No, I just feel like it's never even I don't think there would be another category. Well, I guess rookie of the year you could have this, but like when you're thinking of season-ending awards, the impact it has on winning. So, what kind of impact did Wembanyama have? Like, it's not even measured, really, right?
It's just,
and maybe it shouldn't be. I just think it's interesting.
It's so tough.
Like, could Wemby be in the MVP conversation based on where they finished? Probably not.
When you look at numbers alone, I don't think it's even a contest. Victor Wembanyama has 3.4 blocks to Gobert's 2.1. He has more than double the steals, 1.3 to 0.6. He is a defensive rebound behind, but also has almost doubled in deflections. When it comes to on and off the floor.
What about Bam? Nothing for Bam?
Look,
isn't he always in the list and never wins?
Yeah, he's elite. I just don't think he's one of these 2 guys. When you get to the metrics, Wembanyama has a pretty decent lead in all of those. I think, in my opinion, if Rudy Gobert wins, it's because wins are being factored in.
Yeah.
Which is rough when you because here, if I was a voter, and we'll talk to Sam about this when he comes on later in the week. Here's the thing. If I'm a voter, like I look at the numbers first. Okay, I'm about to make my decision, but let me look at wins as a part of the conversation. But then it really comes down to this. Are the Minnesota Timberwolves any better or worse of a defensive team if it's Victor Wembanyama instead of Rudy Gobert? I think if anything, they're better or they're the same. Do I think the Spurs are a better team if Rudy Gobert are they better defensively if it's Gobert? No, I don't. I think that Rudy Gobert it's not Victor Wembanyama's fault that he doesn't have a lot of people surrounding him. Just like it's not Rudy Gobert's fault that he has Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony. I mean, he has a literal twin tower. Not that they're the defense, he's the defensive specialist Rudy is, but I'm talking about Cat. He has another 7-footer playing alongside of him, plus some pretty decent defensive pieces alongside of him, including a possible 6th Man of the Year candidate.
Sure.
Wembanyama has none of that. So I would argue that the load on the shoulders of Victor Wembanyama is a lot thicker than Rudy's.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
All right. Most improved player, Tyrese Maxey, Alperen Sengun, or Kobe White.
I think Maxey gets that.
I agree with you. By the way, questionable for the next game. Sengun was well on his way till he got hurt. And, honestly, Kobe White's on there. Derek White's had a wonderful year,
I thought Derek White could have been on
I
there,
honestly think he could have. Rookie of the Year, Brandon Miller, Chet, and Victor Wembanyama. This is a two-person race.
Yeah,
I think Chet will get some numbers, but it's Wemby.
Yeah.
He's having one of the most impactful rookie years ever. Clutch player of the year. Interesting. I believe De'Aaron Fox has the second most clutch points again this year, but not in the final 3. Maybe that's just voter fatigue after 1 year. Steph Curry, SGA, DeMar DeRozan. Personally, I'm giving it to Steph. I've seen the numbers too. I could absolutely see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning it. I don't think DeMar will. I'm giving it to Steph, though, mainly because he's not a free throw merchant.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year, Mark Daigneault. Mosley and Finch to round those up. 3 very good young coaches.
I think Daigneault gets that.
Yeah, I agree.
See,
and then the one everyone's waiting for, Naz Reid. I always want to say Clinton, but it's Bobby Portis and Malik Monk. I now believe that Naz Reid's going to win 6th Man.
I think Malik will.
I hope you're right. I think it's going to be very close. I do think it's between those two.
Yeah.
I think if Naz Reid wins it, look, Naz Reid has had a wonderful year. He really has. And if he wins it, I wouldn't say it's a robbery per se, but I would say that unfortunately voters got a little scammed up. The problem is when you look at their numbers, okay, let me look at Malik's and let me look at Naz Reid's. Oh, Naz Reid actually has him in a lot of those numbers. But here's the problem. Naz Reid started, I think, their last 15 games.
Right.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
It's a whole different ballgame. You're playing with the starters.
What numbers does he have them on? Probably rebounds.
Yeah, I think so.
Points,
let me give you the bench numbers first off. Malik averaged off the bench 15.4 points a game. Naz Reid 12.6. 5.1 assists for Malik Monk. 1.1 assists for Naz Reid. 2.9 rebounds for Monk. 4.9 rebounds for Naz Reid. Now, give me a second to bring up their actual numbers themselves. But there is definitely when Naz Reid started,
numbers went up.
The numbers went up. The numbers went up considerably. That's not 6th Man of the Year. That's your starter, dude. And in fact, there are some that say, although I don't know that this is true, but there are some that say that Mike Brown at times may have, even when it was a possibility to start Malik Monk, was like, no.
He went out of his way to not do it.
Right. 6th man. Naz Reid has Malik Monk in rebounds, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, box plus minus, and value over replacement player. Now, some of those are, negligible, like 0.9 to 0.5 blocks or 0.8 to 0.6 steals. He played in 9 more games. But Malik has him in points, assists, and free throw percentage.
Okay.
The problem is some of those statistics, like value over replacement player in box plus minus can be cumulative. The more minutes and the more time you get. When you look at their number, if the 6th man of the year voters are being honest and doing the research properly, in my opinion, they're comparing their numbers off the bench. Right. Starter numbers don't matter.
Right.
A starter is not a 6th man by definition. Therefore, those numbers need to be cut and gone. Let's look at what Malik Monk did off the bench this year. Let's look at what Naz Reid did off the bench this year. That is the definition of a 6th man. And if you do that, Monk wins.
Yeah, I agree. To me, it should be his.
It should be. And if not, we riot. Not really.
We could.
We'll take a break. When we come back, who's hot, who's not? We'll go streaking. And Jason, it's time.
Yeah.
It is the final Sacramento Kings 3 in the key of the season.
Recap.
Unless we do one for like Vegas Summer League, but more likely no. So we'll take a break. We'll come back with all that before we get to Frankie. Frankie Clicks at 9 a.m. coming up next.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Thinking of remodeling your home? Say goodbye to endless internet searches and visit Subcontractors United. Find a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in each home service category. From cabinets to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy, with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Damian Lillard.
Oh.
First half against the Indiana Pacers, Lillard was 11 of 19 from the field, shooting 6 of 10 from 3 and 7 of 7 from the free throw line to score 35 points.
That's hot.
Yeah, who's not, though?
Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
wait,
what? That's where we were going.
The second half against the Indiana Pacers, Lillard was 0 from 5 from the field, 0 for 1 from the 3. Did not take a free throw to score 0 points in the second half.
Wow.
How can you be hot and not?
What a chokey pants.
Hey, they won.
The Milwaukee Bucks won because of Damian Lillard. The Milwaukee Bucks won despite Damian Lillard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here was a little bit of Dame after the game. I said, here's a little bit of Dame, unmute, after the game.
Just when it's been a few years since you'd been in the playoffs, just how much were you looking forward to this opportunity just because it had been a couple of years?
Yeah, it was the last 2 years not being in the playoffs, it was it sucked. I was early vacations. Last year I went to Coachella. Like, I ain't never been able to go to Coachella. Like, it's just playing in the playoffs every year. So just having that long summer, it was like, man, I was over that. But being able to be in a playoff series on a championship team and a championship organization, knowing that we got an opportunity for it, I think that was the thing that I was looking forward to most.
Coachella, huh?
No interest, dude.
Yeah.
Just absolutely no interest in Coachella whatsoever.
Way to go, Dame.
Way to go, Dame. 35 in the first half. And Bucks up 1-0. No Giannis. Want to go streaking?
Let's do it.
We'll take it off. Let's go streaking.
It's time to go streaking.
We're going streaking! Yeah!
Who is the Nostradamus of MLB? Who can keep the streak going? It's time to go streaking.
What the hell are you doing? We're streaking!
Well, we've got a little dilemma here because we didn't streak on Friday. We forgot. We never got to it.
We did. Oh, by the way, really sad I missed. I was listening on the way to the airport to Friday Fun and Games. I feel like I would have done pretty well on a couple of those.
Oh, really?
But I thought the guys did really well.
Yeah?
For the most part.
Which category did you want the most? I'm trying to think. We had
United
States cities.
Cities I would have done pretty well at.
Snack items.
Snack items I would have nailed. It's funny because listening to Chris, like there was a couple where I'm like, and it's different when you're not under the gun. Like I'm in the car, I'm like, I think he said Nutella.
Yeah.
That's not the one I'm thinking of, actually. But there was like a couple where he
Doritos.
said like a random one I would have never thought of, and it was like
I think it's Dunkaroos.
Dunkaroos,
I was
yeah.
thinking
There's like Doritos.
Yeah.
I think I forget what he said for K, but I was like Kit Kat.
Yeah.
It was cities.
We had NBA players.
Yeah, NBA players. I'm okay with that.
What do we get, Brent? Oh, video games.
Video games, yeah. That was. I know what you were trying to do. You were trying to give him a really easy one because that's kind of where his. And he did well.
Yeah,
I've been told he's a gamer.
Yeah.
He knew some games. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a game, maybe it's not.
He did. Then again, there's this game called Rocket League, and I call it Soccer Cars because my son plays it. I don't know half the names of these games. All right, but so what do we do here?
So
then?
we're not starting over. Just we
Continue.
never paid off what we did for Thursday, Dave. You had picked Marcus Simeon. You were on 1 game hit streak. He went 3 for 6.
Hey, I'm on a 4-game streak,
So,
right? No.
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I was on a 3-game hitting streak, and I took from the Cubs Michael Bush. It got rained out.
Oh.
And then Chris
Bush was wet.
On his
Wait, no. Okay. Just
0-game hitting streak. And Chris took Tyler O'Neill, who did not play.
Tyler.
He's on the IL for 7 days. So, Dave, you're at...
Hey, my wife, by the way, speaking of Bush, my wife sent me a picture today. You know what? Everything about what I just said is terrible, and I'm going to pay it off, you bunch of freaking weird minds. Speaking of Bush, my wife sent me a picture today of the band Bush, as you can see in the picture she sent me.
You're showing that to other people?
Playing in the State Fair July 24th, and she wants to go. And I think that we will, because then, check this out. We're going to see Bush July 24th, and then a week to the day later, Creed.
In Iowa.
No, here.
Oh, okay.
We still might go to Iowa. Bush followed by Creed in the butt-rockiest week of our lives.
Summer concert series.
Summer concert series brought to you by Carmichael Dave's horrible music taste when it comes to 90s and early 2000s butt rock. I am here for it, baby. So yes, all of you who thought things, Bush is playing at the Fairgrounds July 24th.
That's what I thought.
All right, so we got a streak again.
Oh, yeah, so you're at 2, so you get to pick today. The Mike
Wait,
Trout.
who did I pick?
You took Tyler O'Neill, but he was on the injury
that's
list.
right.
So he, by contract, has to keep Tyler O'Neill today, or is it?
We can start over. He's at 0.
All right, let's see. I'm on a 2-game streak. Give me Mookie Betts.
Mookie.
Mookie.
I'm going to take Juan Soto of the Yankees, who play the A's here at 10 o'clock.
Oh.
Chris?
I haven't gotten a hit in quite some time, so I'm going to go with the opposite of what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick Jackson Holiday.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, is he due?
Yeah.
He's
past due. Smud's coming after him.
By the way, let's just do a quick check. And no matter how you guys do, I would do worse. I have in front of me the top 5 home run leaders in Major League Baseball. Let's see how many we can get.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout is number 2.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani is not in the top 5.
Schwarber?
Kyle Schwarber is tied for 5th.
Aaron Judge.
No. He only has 3 or 2. 3. Mookie?
Mookie Betts is tied for 5th. It's kind of lame because your top 5 are as follows. Marcelo Zuna is leading the league
Braves,
with 9, followed by Mike Trout. Tyler O'Neill is 3rd, and then 4th is Salvador Perez with 6. But tied with him are Mookie Betts, Kyle Schwarber, Taylor Ward, Josh Naylor, Adolis Garcia, Fernando Tatis Jr., Pete Alonso, Tristan Casas, C.J. Abrams, Michael Bush, Gunnar Henderson, and Ellie De La Cruz. There's a big logjam at 6. All right. So we got all our people that we're going with?
We did.
Shall we streak or shall we recap?
Let's do it. Last
recap.
one.
3 in the key. The final one. This time it's 4-3.
We had 4 participants in this because the lovely and talented Brendan Nunes was participating as well.
That's right. How did the senior Kings?
So that's what jinxed us.
Yeah. We asked for CJ McCollum versus De'Aaron Fox points. Dave, you said CJ and Fox would each score 34. I said 24 CJ, 33 Fox. Chris said 18 CJ, 36 Fox. And Brendan said 27 CJ, 34 Fox.
Do we have a clear winner?
Well, we were all really close on Fox, 35, but none said 35. And then 7, I would say Chris is the clear winner.
Yeah, I feel like Chris on the basis of CJ.
Wins.
Yeah, wins.
Then we asked for Valanciunas points, rebounds, Sabonis points, rebounds. Davey said 10 and 13 for Valanciunas, 16-14 for Sabonis. I said 14-12 for Valanciunas, 20-16 for Sabonis. Chris said 15-13 Valanciunas, 18-14 Sabonis. And Brandon said 12 and 9 for Valanciunas, 18 and 14 for Sabonis. This is a log jam.
It really is.
Valanciunas said 19 and 12. Sabonis said 23 and 14.
That sounds like me. All right, moving on. No,
Okay,
maybe
gross. Lastly, our random set. Let's see how we did here.
Well, all right.
Let's close out. Dave, you said, and I can't confirm, but I did see you eating, but your prediction was you would be caught on TV stuffing your face.
Didn't get a single text about it. I think I was wrong.
I saw you eating popcorn.
Yeah,
it looked like something else, too.
Yeah, I was smashing popcorn, and then they had candy.
Oh.
So I had peanut M&Ms. I had a bunch of them. I had a handful of, what are those little jelly things that have the sugar on the outside? They're circles.
Every candy ever?
No, dude, it's like a jelly, but it's sugary on the outside. And these little tarts. Anyways, I got fat. What do you want?
I said Alvarado and Fox would get double technicals. We almost had a Fox Najee Marshall.
That was
but
fine.
Nothing.
Yeah, a little push and shove.
Chris said we get an audible light the beam chant. We did get an audible Keegan Murray. There were some good Kings fans behind the Kings bench.
Yes, and a couple of very faint DeMontis Sabonises early.
Okay.
Yes, we were singing along.
And then Brendan said Lyles would have at least 3 3-pointers.
Wow.
Took one shot.
Actually, he might be right because he said that he'll need to get at least 3 3-pointers for the Kings to win.
Well, he didn't, and they didn't. All right. Well, we all failed miserably.
We went out with a whimper.
Went out with a
Thanks for the
whine.
reminder, Jason.
Yeah,
The Kings.
Frankie Klicks. He's going to show up and join us, and we'll do our first interview post-mortem.
We'll interview Frankie.
I feel like we should.
Okay.
So your Sacramento Kings, the season is over. Frankie Celli joins us next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
It's something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm surprised at how many players wait too long to have their golf clubs regripped. I'll pick up my playing partner's clubs when they're left near the green, and that's when I noticed that some of the problems in their games could be attributed to worn golf grips. If yours are shiny or worn when you play, you're probably gripping the club too strongly for fear of losing it during a swing. The golf grip is your connection to the club, and fresh grips let you hold the club lightly, promoting proper swing mechanics and swing action. Many of us simply replace the grips with the same product that was on the club, but with so many different types of materials, colors, tackiness, softness, and more, you'll find plenty of sizes and colors to fit your game and your personality. Your local pro shop or club fitter can regrip your clubs, or you can purchase a kit and do it yourself. Either way, regripping once a year is an inexpensive and fast way to bring a noticeable change to your game and to give your clubs that new club feel. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Where we have not made the playoffs in a year.
True.
Mm-hmm. No doubt about it.
Yeah. What is that? 18 of 19 years? 17 of 18 years?
17 of 18 at the least, yeah. Because I'm trying to remember what, yeah. Yeah, because they made it all the way straight.
06 was the last time.
Yeah. But did they?
17 of 18 years.
Yeah. Well,
woof.
Let me ask you this. Was Frankie an official insider last year when we made the playoffs? Or
yeah, I think so.
So we can't blame this on him.
No. Let's ask him.
Joining us right now, Sacramento Kings insider, Frankie Celli. Good morning, Frankie.
This is not my fault. I can promise. I had nothing to do with this.
All right. I mean, I don't like that question you asked back in February, but I don't know if that's why they lost to the Pelicans.
Yeah, if you can equate why they've been losing to the Pelicans this way, I mean, I love the answer as well, but it is a sad, I don't want to say surprising. Again, I think when you look at this 2023-24 season, a lot of the reasons why they were in that position in the first place, I think the hard part is that it was self-inflicted, all of those games against teams that they quote-unquote should have beaten, the blown leads, etc. But, of course, fate brought them back to the Pelicans for one more chance, and it was pretty much like watching the same exact game we've seen 5 times before over and over again. I'm not sure if that's how you guys took it, but outside of the opening, I think 2-3 minutes where the Kings jumped out to, I think, a 5-6 point lead, it it felt like the same exact carbon copy of the game we've seen over and over again. I think that was the most frustrating part, that it wasn't any different at all. It was the same exact game.
Yeah, I was going to ask you why you think they lost Friday, but I think you kind of answered it there, Frank. It just they couldn't avoid that. It got into the same kind of game, and it may not have been, CJ hitting threes like the last time, or it just seemed like their length, their size everywhere, and the fact that they could guard Sabonis effectively enough, Fox effectively enough, and took Keegan out, I mean, kind of took the legs out of the Kings. It just didn't seem like they could do the effort was there, Frankie. The results were not for the Kings.
Yeah, when you take away what Keegan Murray did, and again, his huge performance against the Warriors, I think it would have been unfair to expect a replication of that performance, but they took him out of the game. They really locked down the Kings' three-point shooting, as they've done all year. I mean, we've seen what kind of team the Kings are, and they can't make three-pointers. They finished tonight, I believe, around 20-21%. You're not going to win many games with that percentages, but also the bench. I mean, their bench was incredible. Larry Nance Jr. had I think a season high in points scored, and of course it was in that game against the Kings. Alvarado, Marshall down the board. They completely outplayed the Kings in the bench game, an area that the Kings have been playing very well as of late. as they navigated this period without Malik Monk. Davion Mitchell and Trey Lyles are two players that really stepped up over the final stretch, and they weren't really pieces of note during that game. So outside of De'Aaron Fox, it really was a game that the Kings were outplayed across the board. And I think, like you said, Jason, the length from the Pelicans has been an issue for this Kings team all year long, and not just the Pelicans, other teams that possess multiple players with defensive wings. They've given the Kings problems. So we knew it was a problem for this Kings team as far as the personnel goes. They didn't have the answers to match up with New Orleans, and now they go into the summer looking for answers.
If we had this question earlier, is it leaving out nuance if I was to say Keon and Keegan didn't show up?
I mean, they didn't, but I mean, I think when you factor in I guess it's more of a excuse for Keon than Keegan. I mean, Keegan is somebody who has been playing well. He's been in the playoffs before. He's shown up in big games before. I mean, again, in the Golden State series last year, games 5, 6, 7, Keegan averaged, I think, 15 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. So just maybe it was the fact that he was playing through an injury. He did tell reporters after the game that were there that he strained his groin in the second half on that fall. So I don't know if that's an excuse or not, but Keon's somebody that hasn't played in big games like this before, and someone that you really don't look to him for. I know he does provide an offensive punch, but he's not someone that you look to as a Kevin Huerter role that's going to go out there and get you 15, 20 points on 3-point shooting. He's provided that for the Kings. It's been a huge positive. Maybe that is who he's going to be going forward, but the Kings didn't get enough out of their big guys, and I think that's what mattered the most. And I don't think it's fair to point fingers at Keon and say he didn't show up. Even if he scored 15 or 20 points, it might not have mattered because the butterfly effect of how things transpire over an NBA game, you never know what's going to happen. The Pelicans just outplayed the Kings across the board. They did on Friday. They did it in the other 5 games before that as well. It just was hard to see if one player could have really made a difference because the scoreboard says a 7-point loss, but it really wasn't that close.
Right.
It was a 20-point game with X amount of minutes left in the fourth quarter. The game was out of reach, and the Kings squeaked back thanks to Fox and some late shots. But I mean, it's hard to say one player alone could have caused this game to be different.
Sactown Sports Kings insider Frankie Celli joining us here on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. So, Frankie, now it's on to the next thing already. I mean, that's the way sports works. Today you'll be out there, I'm sure, for the Kings kind of close out exit interviews. Today they'll meet with the coaches, front office, and the media. What are some of the things you're going to try to get out of today when you get a chance to talk to all the guys?
Just looking for sheer honesty and seeing what these guys really think they need to go forward. I think Domantas Sabonis, after his first year with Sacramento, he said he wanted to be involved in the process of offseason moves and acquisitions. He said he wanted to be a part of that. He spoke to us about that 2 summers ago. And I want to see kind of what they say today about that. How hands-on do De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis want to be in finding the answers to what can make this roster a perennial playoff team? And, of course, I think that all fingers and all eyes and ears, but I'll be pointed at Malik Monk. He is the Kings' number 1 priority this offseason. It's no secret they want to keep him, but it's not really in their control. If one team wants to come in and offer him 4 years, $100 million, or however much more money the Kings can offer, which is 4 years for $78 million, is that going to be enough to lure him out of Sacramento? I think that De'Aaron Fox has been in multiple forms of I think Chris Biederman from the Bee had a piece. Tracy Rodriguez of NBC Sports both wrote great pieces on Malik Monk and his upcoming free agency. And De'Aaron Fox had a couple quotes in there just saying Malik's going to go get his money. And it'll be interesting to see if that's going to be what's most important to Malik, because De'Aaron Fox is right. These guys do only have a specific amount of time they can play the game of basketball and be a professional athlete. And I think that setting up their families for the future is very important. And if Malik Monk comfortable enough in Sacramento to take that contract and kind of plant his flag here and play the bulk of his prime in Sacramento, we'll see. But I'm interested to see what the guys think about that upcoming process and just the general feel of the ceiling as a whole. I think looking for what went wrong, each guy will probably have a different answer or a different feeling. I think a couple of the first reactions from some of the guys are that they point to those games, like I highlighted earlier in this conversation, the games that they should have, quote unquote, won, the Detroits, the Washingtons, and so forth. Just where do they feel like the season unraveled for them? Because it is kind of weird to be sitting here after a 46-36 season where, most King seasons, that would put you in a top 7-6 seed probably. I mean, even a year ago. But this is just the state of the Western Conference today, and I'm intrigued to see what the guys feel and what they think, how things went wrong for them.
Here's what De'Aaron Fox said yesterday.
I mean, obviously, I think he was extremely big for us. People that watch us play know that he should be sixth man of the year, but at the end of the day, you know that this is a business, and I feel like what he gave to us in the 2 years that he has been here, I feel like he showed his value, what he can do for a team, and I'm happy for him regardless if he's with us or he isn't, and he knows that. But man, at the end of the day, this is a business. You can only play basketball for so long.
Try to help convince him to come back.
Yeah, definitely. For sure. But, money talks. Like I said, you can't play this game for forever.
All right. So you heard those comments. Gut feeling. Is he here or is he leaving?
I've been adamant. I feel like he's staying. That's just the way I feel it and the way that I think he views this situation. I think that if it's a matter of starting or coming off the bench, which I do not believe he is asked to be a starter, I don't think it's a contingency upon him staying. But if that is a topic of conversation, I feel like that's something that the Kings would be willing to have with him. But I think that it makes too much sense for him, his fit, his relationship with De'Aaron Fox, his relationship with Mike Brown, his relationship with the training staff, the coaching staff, the front office. I think that Malik Monk has just had a great run here in Sacramento, and one that I think owner Vivek Ranadive values very, very much so. I think that that's a priority for him as well, to keep Malik Monk. And there's going to be teams that for sure that are going to probably offer more money than the Kings. And if that is what he's looking to do, to take the highest bidder, then yeah, maybe he leaves. But I think that there's going to be a couple more variables at play. And the Kings won't be offering him peanuts by any means. They're going to be offering him more than a double in his current salary. He's going to be on a long-term contract, which I think Malik Monk has not had the luxury of being on a long-term contract during his NBA career. Of course, he's only 26 years old. So I feel like he's staying. I think a lot of people have taken the Fox quotes as an indicator that he's leaving. But the way that I've perceived that is De'Aaron Fox is a professional, and he's giving a very pro response, a very even-keeled response about someone who's a friend to him first and foremost, but also both guys who understand it's a business. Like, I think that we've seen a lot of players come and go over the years, and I think we've all learned over our years, you guys obviously many more years covering basketball than me, that it is a business. The first and foremost, the National Basketball Association is a business and is about making dollars. And I think it's not lost on any of these guys, and De'Aaron Fox as well, who will be up for a contract, either extension or renegotiation in a year or two from now. So I took it that way. I've always felt it's about 70-30 he's staying. And if he goes, the Kings are going to have a tough time to replace him. There's not really an easy way to replace what Malik Monk's brought you. And that's kind of going to be, that could be really a dark cloud hanging over the organization just to begin the offseason if he does depart, because the money that they could give to Malik Monk, they can't really give that to anybody else because of bird rights. They have, I think the MLE, I think, which is about $12 million they could spend, or I have to look at it again at the tax sheet, but the Kings don't have a bunch of cap space. So keeping Malik Monk would be huge for this team. And I think he stays, but I mean, everyone has their interpretation of what's going to happen here.
So just to follow up, and I agree with you on the Fox comments. I think he doesn't want to put pressure on his buddy and say, oh, he should stay or this or that. It is a business and it is about money. From a Kings point of view, though, would you agree? It's they have no control. They know what they can offer. They're going to offer it, and they're going to put it on the table and say, this is it. This is the max we can give you. It's really up to Orlando, Philadelphia, et cetera. But you think if he gets $400 somewhere else, you think he's going to pass up $22 million to stay here?
It's hard. I mean, if it's that much, it's hard to say no, right? But yeah. I think we look at the market, and Grayson Allen, I think the contract is being looked at very closely. They're different players, sure. And I think some people look at it and say, Grayson Allen's getting that much. Well, Malik Monk's going to get, Grayson Allen has been a very important player for the Phoenix Suns, and he's shooting nearly 50% from three. I mean, those players don't just fall off trees. Like, Grayson Allen as a three-point shooter is one of the top, I'd say, 5 shooters in the NBA right now, and he really fits in that offense. He's fit with a bunch of contending offenses. I think it's a fair fit for Malik Monk, who has been a dynamic playmaker off the bench, a streaky scorer, but when he's on, he's a microwave and can go for 30-plus points per game. I think that's a comparable contract. I think others in the industry have said that's a comparable contract, and maybe he gets more. But if someone wants to blow the Kings out of the water and throw him $100 million over 4, it might be hard for the Kings to keep him. Yeah, but I'm still personally a little skeptical that they'll see much north of 100. But if it's about money in it, that's the goal from Malik Monk. He'll take the most money. But if the Kings are close and they provide that comfortability that he's looking for, I think that the Kings could have as good a chance as anyone.
Frankie, that sure seems like that's going to be priority one for the front office in Malik, and that makes sense. What other areas would you think are important for this team to address, whether that's actual names or just things you think this team needs next year to make sure they're at least in that top 6?
I think that they're trending the right way with the defense. I think that Keegan Murray's growth has been a strength for this team. I think Keon Ellis's emergence was probably, I'd say, the best storyline from the season when you look at it, take everything into account. I think Keon Ellis and the Domantas Sabonis double streak will be what we remember most about this year. But I think they could always use more versatile defenders that could match up and help the Kings in those situations like we saw against the Pelicans, where the Kings struggled to get stops. And I couldn't really remember a stretch where they got consecutive stops on multiple possessions. It just didn't seem like it happened. So I think defense will continue to be a key for this team. They have some offensive weapons in Fox and Keegan Murray and Sabonis. I think that obviously a huge topic of conversation will be, can they upgrade a starter spot, whether it be Kevin Huerter's spot or Harrison Barnes' spot. I think that they'll gauge the trade market and see what's going to be there for both of those players, because I feel like Harrison Barnes' spot as well. I think that he is somebody that could be helpful to a team or a contending team. But I think the Kings right now, where they are currently in their process, they need a little more out of that starting spot, whether that means Harrison Barnes stays and goes to a bench role or slides over and the Kings bring in another starter to start along the guys they already have. But I think that upgrading a starting spot needs to happen for a team that, when you look at it, they entered the year 1 through 8 in the rotation, identical to the team that entered training camp in 2022. And I'm not sure how many teams in the NBA did that went into training camp, same starting 5 and first year off the bench. I really don't know if there's any other team in the NBA that came into this year with that same roster. So I think turnover at this point is needed. They have their guys that I think they'd like to retain. I think that Trey Lyles is someone that they would like to keep off the bench, and Alex Len is someone I think they even would be intrigued to bring back in a bench role. But I think as far as big swing for the fence type moves, it's hard to predict when you don't know what's out there yet. And you also don't know because of the Kings' uncertainty with the draft pick. They now have a draft pick in this year's draft that they can trade on draft day. Will they try to look and move it, even though it's a weak draft, or will they call up Atlanta and offer to take the protections off of this year and free up their ability to move future draft picks? We'll see. I've heard there are whispers that Atlanta would be intrigued about taking this year's draft pick, but I mean, it's by no means a sure thing because of how many draft evaluators look at this year's draft as really a weak class. So a lot of areas the Kings can improve, but I think that they have their core guys to build around in Fox, Murray, and Sabonis. And after that, I think the Kings will have to trust Monte McNair, how he's made his moves before, been very calculated in this process, and it's been a while. So we'll see if he has something up his sleeve.
Frankie Celli with us, Kings Insider. It took me, I haven't done this in a long time, I'm out of practice, but I did go to Tankathon while you were talking, and it took me 53 times, no joking, I was counting, to get the Kings out of the 13th spot in the simulated lottery. So let's just assume probably they're picking 13. Let's also assume they keep the pick. Now, what I'm not going to do, Frankie, 2 days after the season's over, is ask you about draft stuff, but eventually we're all going to look, and I guess, I don't know if I want to say a bright side. If there's a upside, is that, look, stranger things have happened at number 13. So we're back in the lottery, which is a little bit of exciting stuff. There'll be summer league, blah, blah, blah. But yes, by most accounts with the scouts, you are correct. They say this is not a great draft, but you and I both know there'll at least be a couple all-stars picked in this draft. Right now, Kyle Filipkowski from Duke, the center at 7 feet tall, is slated right around where the Kings pick. A few other names, including, and this guy's all over the board. He's at number 22 right now. Some have him in the second round. Some have him in the top 10, like our good friend Bobby Gerald. Zach Edey. Let me just ask you, just on the surface, just for funsies, I think Zach Edey would fit in on this team, possibly next to a Domantas Sabonis. Would that be a bad fit?
I mean, if he's the player that you envision him to be, I'm not sure if that's, a Chet Holmgren type that can't shoot as well from the perimeter. I mean, I think you mean like a shot blocker, just like a rim protecting shot blocker.
Honestly, I feel like maybe I'm wrong here, but in watching Zach play, I feel like he is a more offensively gifted down low, less defensively gifted Walker Kessler, if that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense. If that is who he could be, sure. And I do agree that, maybe evaluators are saying this draft class is going to be weak, but I mean, the thing about scouts and talent evaluators is that they're wrong a lot of the time.
Hey, so Nikola Jokic got picked during a Taco Bell commercial, didn't he?
Yes, he absolutely did. So to that extent, the Kings could pick someone at 13, 14 that ends up being a major piece of the rotation next year. I mean, you really never know. I think the way that Monty McNair uses his draft, the way that he's drafted, though, they've brought in guys that they match up age-wise with this current core. I mean, you've seen the Davion Mitchells. I think Davion Mitchells, I think he was 21 on draft night. Colby Jones is 21 right now. Obviously, Keegan Murray was 21 or 22 when he came into the NBA. I'd be surprised if they brought in a project. If they do use that draft pick and they keep it, I'd be surprised if they brought in a project. And I guess to your point, Dave, Edey is not a project. I think he's 22 years old or 23 years old, maybe even. So would it be insane? Probably not. I mean, they might do some interesting things, especially if they keep that draft pick, because they kind of are in that limbo as far as they're not a team that's looking to rebuild. They're a team that's looking to add on to what already was nearly a playoff roster. So would they pick Edey at 13, 14? Might be a little high, but you never know what could happen.
Frankie, as far as their current roster, too, I'm curious who you think has the chance to make the biggest leap, right? I mean, sometimes if you keep some of the guys and bring them back, you're hoping that there is a substantial leap, whether you think that's Keegan, Colby Jones, Keon, whoever it might be. Who do you think you believe could really make a jump in their level of play next year?
I think Keegan's the easy one to start with, because I'll just kind of throw him in there as someone who I was very impressed with seeing his shot creation off the dribble, his one-on-one game. I think that he was a spot-up and dribble handoff guy most of his rookie year, and this year he really did take a step forward as far as creating on his own, and his percentages dipped a little bit, but points per game went up and his volume went up. So I'm looking to see if he can continue to grow off that next year. But my guy is Colby Jones. To keep an eye on Colby Jones, who I think will probably play in summer league and get a lot of minutes there. He'll probably be a guy that will be in the mix for a rotation spot next year, unless the Kings make some moves, especially if Malik Monk departs. That kind of moves him up on that depth chart. So I'm looking at Colby Jones, a player who is a two-way threat, a guy who can knock down threes, rebound very well. I think there's some Josh Hart comps for him coming out of college. But he's someone the Kings really do. They need more players like that, more players that are versatile and can play both sides of the ball, like Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray showed this year. The Kings need guys like that. And Colby Jones, to me, was someone who looked good in stretch minutes in rotation. Near the end of the year, looked a little greener on the gills and was exposed a little bit in those late season games. But I think having another full summer under Mike Brown, that coaching staff, and another summer working with those guys that are going to be also in the mix for rotation spots could be good for the familiarity with this roster. But versatility's good, and he brings that, and he's young under contract. So looking for Colby Jones to take some leaps next year.
Speaking of versatility, being young and under contract, Frankie Celli, Kings Insider, Sactown Sports, joins us each and every week. Frankie, appreciate you. And, of course, we'll be talking to you throughout the summer. But in the meantime, enjoy today. Enjoy your trip to Cancun or wherever you're spending your off season. And we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care. That's Frankie. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch tonight? Yes, there are some sports. Also, the Denver Broncos unveil their new uniforms. Why am I mentioning that? I'm not a uniform guy, and this isn't Denver, but, dude, they look awesome.
Really?
They went old school. I really like it. I really, really like it. I'll show you during the break. And for you on the radio listening, there will be nothing of value for you in that comment because you can't see anything. But that's why I'm a terrible radio host. We'll take a break. We'll come back with all the rest of that stuff next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
They're going to give it. No, it's a play action. Purdy going to roll that throw for the end zone. Caught by George Kittle. He has the hat trick tonight, a career high. 3 touchdown catches for George. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Oh, honey, it's our favorite leaf filter trusted pro, Matt. Matt, come in.
Hi, Mrs. Sparks. You wanted me to stop by? Is everything okay with your leaf filter gutter protection system?
Okay, of course, silly. We wanted you to stop by for dinner as our way of thanking you.
Yes, to thank you for that free gutter inspection, the free estimate, and what was the other thing?
That lifetime guarantee.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Sparks, those are just Leaf Filter's policies. Everyone who calls Leaf Filter gets a trusted pro to come out for a free gutter inspection and estimate. And every Leaf Filter installation comes with a lifetime guarantee.
So it's not just us?
No, sir. We don't want anyone to worry about clogged gutters ever again.
You mean everyone gets this level of service?
Everyone. They just need to visit leaffilter.com/build to schedule their free inspection.
Okay, but you must be starving. You work so hard.
Ready to love your gutter protection as much as we do? Visit leaffilter.com/build and get up to 30% off today.
See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Monday, back to a new work week. Looking at a comfortable start to the day. It's pretty mild outside. Into the afternoon, it's going to be plenty warm with plenty of sunshine and highs today, mid to upper 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. I am Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered flex steel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel. Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Cavanaugh Golf Course.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Can I just say something? Let me say no. Usually things don't go well when I start out that way. Our content partners over at KCRA3, whom we love a ton, they're having their annual Sacramento Grilled Cheese Festival on Sunday.
You want in?
Let me tell you something here. The grilled cheese is amazing, right? And so, I'm trying to do this the right way. Okay. I want to be careful.
Grill the cheese the right way.
Here's what I'm saying. Okay. To get in, which includes like all the sandwiches, includes it. It's important to say you get grilled cheese with this, like unlimited sandwiches. It's $75.
Whoa, that's a lot of cheese.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a lot of cheddar.
And then I think like $90 or $95. I know it's like 90 or so. It gets you unlimited grilled cheese, beer, and wine tasting.
Oh, Gouda.
So what I'm saying is, like, you get to talk about a cool Sunday. I mean, it's 100 bones, but all day, all the grilled cheese and the beer and the wine.
I'd eat them.
Okay, so here's where I'm going here, and I also want to be careful. First off, it's a great event. I know they've sold it out in the past, right? Sounds like an amazing time, and I also want to be careful.
Sharp.
That you guys are actually doing it really well, and I just want to pause. Is that three or that's three really good? Four. That's a lot of cheddar.
Mm-hmm.
Gouda, dress sharp.
Edam. Edam's a cheese.
What is?
Isn't Edam a cheese?
Edam?
You're acting like a real monster right now.
Love it. Does he have you on a string?
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Was that cheesy?
Hey, that's not Joe joke.
Do you think Red Velvetita's going to go? Red, like Kevin Hurd, but instead of Red Velvet,
that was
Red
dumb.
Velvet. Yeah. Okay, so but can I say this?
What a dumb, stupid call.
You know who's got another really great event?
Who's that?
Country in the Parks coming up now. That amazing event,
Yeah.
right? Why can't we have a grilled cheese festival or so? Why? It is killing me. And this is no offense to any of our amazing people in promotions and all that. They do a wonderful job. Overworked, underpaid. They're the best.
I think it's on you to start one.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it kind of is. This has been a burn my butt for 20 years now. Like, how do we, I know, right? How do we not have a signature KHTK event? And I think part of the problem is like we always try to chase sports. Hey, let's do a Super Bowl thing. Let's do you were the PD when we did Sports Fest. Could not have been better organized. I mean,
but it was 9,000 degrees.
But it was 9,000 degrees, and I literally almost passed out interviewing Bonzi Wells. But that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
But I feel like the mistake we make is like, screw sports. I mean, not really, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it has to be sports. Like, why can't we put on a Creed show or do something musical? Why can't we have a grilled cheese festival, but not grilled cheese?
How about wings?
Wings. Arguably the biggest sports radio event in the country is the WIP Philadelphia Wing Bowl, right? Why can't we have a wing bowl? Why can't we be a stop on the barbecue tour and where they all bring out their barbecue trucks and they have a competition? It's brought to you by Kingsford or I don't know. But what would be an equivalent? Like,
seems like we're a pretty big barbecuing community.
That's what I'm saying. You got like Rhythm and Ribs. You have the thing up at Sparks. Nevada, they do every year.
Chili.
100%. I'll enter. I don't care. Yes, we could have like the station and we don't. It doesn't have to be about us. I just think we should put it on every year. So I think we should take this moment and all brainstorm and come up with like, okay, so you have grilled cheese that's taken, right? So chili, ribs, barbecue in general. What would be a grilled cheese equivalent that it's just universally loved except for people that are allergic?
Tacos.
Taco Fest. Well, all the best taco. Then you have Best Taco Award, and you have all the taco places everywhere. You can't go wrong with tacos. Everyone likes tacos except people that don't. Screw them.
They're not invited.
Yes, guys, Bagel Fest would go crazy.
Everything.
Let's have a KHTK. Let's have a KHTK Bagel Fest. Dave is extra thirsty for a press pass to the event. Oh, I mean, find the lie.
Donuts?
Donuts? I feel like, yeah, it's a morning event. Hey, JR.
I give 0 fondues.
God dang it. That's like That's 12 cheese puns.
Hey, that $85, does that also pay for your plumbing you're going to need help on the next morning?
just a watermelon.
Knot it up.
We're all knotted up. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I'm even laughing at my own joke on that.
But
what about your favorite food that you always are shoving in your mouth that always has pictures of you doing it?
What, Nutri-Grain bars? Oh, popcorn.
Oh, popcorn.
Oh,
popcorn festival.
I just don't. Are people going to roll out and be like, let's celebrate? I want all the, maybe.
Flavor. You get all these flavors. Jason Ross knows how to dish up a good popcorn on. That's what he always brings to Super Bowl parties.
That's right.
And here comes Jason with his $5 popcorn bag.
With his grilled cheese popcorn.
I feel like, guys, we might be onto something. There's probably a taco fest, right?
Probably.
There is. You guys got a lot of taco. You got some professional guys like Adam. I forget the Adam's last name with the S. He does that whole
Adam Saldana. Yes.
Yeah.
Benzino's Tacos.
You got names and numbers. Hey, you're a terrible radio host, but you have really good connections.
That is absolutely on my resume.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Jared. Yeah, I think we're on to something.
You have a popcorn pit you can jump in. The kids can jump in.
That's sanitary.
Yeah.
Gross. Greasy for life.
Whee!
Here's the
Where is he? He's at the bottom.
He's in the caramel pit. Oh, he's in the buttered pit.
That's sticky.
I like that because you could make it a whole thing. You could have a beer garden where you grow the beer. You could have like different let's make it a whole cultural thing. Like you could have music, dancing, things.
Come for the things.
Tons of ideas that I have that I'm afraid to say because I don't know if it's problematic. But yes, KHTK Taco Fest 2024, perhaps 5, because you got to plan it out. You got to work,
probably,
and that's it. There's our event, Taco Fest.
Now that's what I call a taco.
That's what I'm. You know what? I'm marching right down to our event planners, our lovely event staff, promotions people, and say, what about Taco Fest? And I got to be honest with you. I am 100% looking forward to all the reasons why we can't do it, but I will push because I know it's what you always get hit with. Well,
headwinds.
No, we're not having Turkey Sausage Fest.
Turkey sausage.
Turkey sausage. Or you have the other one? No, damn it. I don't know who this is, but let's unscreen him. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, thanks. Let me bring this back to basketball if I can.
Okay.
I was surprised Frankie didn't say anything about this, but Valanciunas is a free agent.
Oh, is that who you want?
That's who I want.
Okay.
And that's who I want Sabonis to bring here, just like I wanted Fox to bring Monk here.
Mm-hmm.
And those are our 4 veterans. Keegan, Davion, Keon are the developing players. But you put Valanciunas on this team, and we don't lose to New Orleans.
Wait, you put who on this team?
Valanciunas.
Oh, I thought you said Altunas. I didn't know that was. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how really.
No. You got it. You got it. I mean, whether you put him on this team or you just take him off of the Pelicans, yeah, it's a big deal.
Exactly. And so you do 2 things at once. And I think he's coming here. I do think he's coming here. And thus, the food festival to have would be whatever the hell they eat in Lithuania.
Lithuania. Thank you. Lithuanian lasagna.
Yeah.
God, lasagna fest. I would be all over a lasagna fest, but I don't think a lot of other people would.
The cheese is binding.
What about, the guy who interviews all the people with the chicken wings?
Oh, yeah.
What if we had
a
spicy? Yeah.
Gumbo.
Oh, it's so funny you said that. I was just going to say, let's do a muffaletta festival, but a lot of people will mistake that.
A lot will miss it.
So tired of you.
I'm going to punch you.
Magic at Cavs, Sixers at
Who
Knicks.
cares?
Lakers at Nuggets.
I'm not watching.
Hey, Nugget Fest.
Yeah?
Hey, Nuggets.
How about, well, never mind.
Who doesn't like a nugget?
Lakers,
yeah, that's a good point.
Chicken fingers.
What if we just
say it that way?
What if we just did Chicken Fest?
Yeah.
You could have chicken, whole chicken, rotisserie chicken, chicken fingers, chicken nuggets, chicken wings, chicken strips,
tacos,
chicken
pizza,
live chickens,
chicken popcorn, all the things we talked about.
All the things, chicken flavored popcorn.
Yeah.
And then every year we have a signature contest within the event. It is who can make the tastiest chicken dessert. Because how are you going to make a dessert involving chicken?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. I'll bet you it's something involving the
Chicken
skin,
ice cream.
crisping the skin with sugar on it or something.
Yeah.
Chicken ice cream. I don't know. Mets and Giants, A's at Yankees. We'll take a break when we come back.
We need one.
Let's run both Chicken Fest and Taco Fest by our guys.
Okay.
Silas and Watkins join us next.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
Keep on Sabonis. Put the frosting on the cake. Put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Get in zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. A bottle of Chevron Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner can help your engine get more MPGs. Right now, when you buy one bottle, you can get one bottle free. A great deal to help you go a great deal farther. Find Chevron Techron and everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any one of our 6,300 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
With a variety of weekly promotions, there's something for everyone to enjoy at a Sacramento Rivercats game. Don't miss a Toyota Family Value Tuesday featuring $2 hot dogs and $2 ice cream, or Thirsty Thursday featuring ice cold beer. Join us on Smut Orange Fridays for happy hour and live music. And don't forget to stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with post-game fireworks. Find all promotional details at rivercats.com and make your plans to head out to Sutter Health Park this season.
Were you recently in a car accident? Don't let the insurance companies push you around. Turn to the experts at Gonzalez Law. Our team specializes in car accident cases, wrongful termination, and criminal defense, fighting tirelessly to get you the compensation and justice you deserve. With years of experience and a track record of success, we don't settle for less, and neither should you. Visit SacLegalDefense.com or call 916-304-9187 for a free consultation. Gonzalez Law, your advocate in the fight for justice.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey, turn it up. It feels okay.
Yeah.
Just give us a round of applause is what you're doing right now.
That's right.
We used to do that in third grade. Mrs. Withers say, hey, round of applause.
Round of applause.
Breaking news, please. Christopher Laud. I know you're doing a bunch of things here, but we have a little bit of not really breaking news today.
When it breaks,
We have it first.
it's Sactown Sports breaking news.
During the break, as promised, I did walk down to our event planning staff room. I won't use any names, but headed up by one of my favorite people in the world. And turns out this person was already listening, which I love to hear that when people that work here actually listen. I really do, especially when there's choices.
Mhm.
We know you love your country,
Yes.
but we appreciate it when you listen to us. And the response was an immediate, I love it. An immediate, I love the idea. And we even expanded on it. Like, okay, so we were talking before you guys got here. We got to get a KCK signature event.
Mhm.
There's a grilled cheese festival our friends at KCRA are putting on this weekend. It's like $75, but you get all the grilled cheese, and like $95 gets you the grilled cheese and the wine and the beer. Like, what a Sunday, right?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I've been. It's really fun.
I've heard, and I think they've sold it out many times before.
Is it a competition?
I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly,
Just different grilled cheeses.
right. And so we were kind of thinking, okay, well, do we do like we thought about a chicken festival where you could do like whole chicken, rotisserie chicken, fingers, wings, nuggets, whatever. But I think Chris's idea of Taco Fest, where it's just, first off, they've got the trucks already. It's a taco truck. So you bring in all the trucks, and then you can have the restaurants come in, and everybody rolls around and samples tacos all day. And then you eventually have like the best taco in Sacramento. And then somebody online actually put in, I think, a really good idea. You have a taco thing, you have a beer garden, and then we should also do corn. Who doesn't like corn on the cob or elote? You don't like corn on the cob? Come on, man.
That's a new one.
Who doesn't? What?
I didn't know.
I'm not a fan of elote.
Who are these people?
I don't know.
I don't like mayonnaise on my corn.
What?
I don't like mayonnaise on my corn.
It's not just mayonnaise.
They don't always do mayonnaise.
And they don't. Classically they do. What? Yes.
Yeah, I love the idea.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I can dust off some of my taco skills. I'll run a truck and I'll also MC it. And for you, I'll do it free of charge.
Wow. There you go.
It's done.
Can we please remember that Alan Stiles said he would MC KHTK Taco Fest free of charge?
Free of charge.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it.
I love it.
Here
Because you know who would not MC it? Me. Yeah, exactly. But I will eat at it 100%.
1,000%. I'll judge it.
Chris, you used to work in promotions.
I
How
did,
easy
yeah.
will this be to pull off?
Not easy.
Come on, Chris.
But we did used to do a tamale and touchdown festival that was great. It was great.
That
It was
sounds
phenomenal.
awesome.
Yeah, everyone loved it.
Why did we stop?
Ran out of touchdowns.
Yeah, you're gonna.
yeah.
Remember the touchdown shortage.
I feel like tacos are universal. And you know what else we could do? We'll have to find somebody to come in. Dessert tacos.
Well, that's the thing about tacos,
Chocolate
right?
tacos.
Now you got fusion. Now you have some Asian tacos. Now you have different tacos.
Yes.
So everyone is included.
That's 100% right. Pad Thai taco. I'm here for it 100%.
Sure.
Croissant taco. Sign me up, bruv.
Soul food taco.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They actually do make those.
I know.
Are you kidding?
Taco.
Yeah.
What would be on that?
Well, there's collard greens.
Of course. So that's
Obviously,
kind of your lettuce.
fried chicken.
Yes, the
and then
chicken.
Whatever else you want to
Oh my God. Oh, what about like a sweet potato, like not a what's the Indian the sauce? Not a curry. The
Marsala?
No, like you dip the samosas in it.
I know what you're talking
chutney.
Yes.
Like a sweet potato chutney.
Yes.
Oh my God, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right,
Let's make it
Celebrity
happen.
birthdays
In
brought to you
June.
by Crumble Cookies. Crumble Cookies. Oh, we can have a Crumble Cookie taco.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'll do a raisin.
Yeah,
Shoot
we
the
can
ball
make
the
that
right way. What? Okay. Celebrity birthdays.
Happy birthday today to Jack.
Taco.
The Ripper.
Arlo.
Nicholson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, this is going to hurt. Jack Nicholson is 85.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's somewhere
I
around.
think he's
Might be
83.
older.
82.
Might actually be old.
He's 85 last year. He's 86 now.
Might be right.
Christopher Laud is closest.
88.
87.
Ooh.
Jack Nicholson. Happy birthday to Marshawn Lynch.
You weren't going to do Marshawn. And just...
Over and over.
Is there another Marshawn?
Lattimore.
Oh, great point. Marshawn Lynch is 38.
That sounds good. He
I
played
did.
for a while, so
He
you're
did.
probably right, but I'll go 37.
I think he retired younger than you would think. I'll say 30. I'll say he just turned 36.
I'm going to say 39.
We have a correct answer. It's Carmichael Dave, 38.
Wow.
Sactown Sports Tendy Fest, if we go with the chicken.
Ooh. We can have the guy who threw it, right? Who threw
Oh,
the
yeah.
tendy.
He opens the festival.
Yeah.
No,
The throwing of the wing.
Ceremony.
he's banned.
We could have Kevin Harlan there. That'd be great.
It's a chicken wing.
It's a chicken wing.
It's tender. It's juicy. I was talking about you.
Yeah, thank you. Happy birthday, Harry.
Giles.
Styles.
Ah, not Styles,
Yeah,
but Giles. Harry Giles.
I wonder if they're the same age.
He is 20. Oh, he's one of two. He's 27.
Or 26.
Yeah, exactly.
26.
He's 26 or 27. I think he's 27, but it's probably 26.
28.
No way.
Or 25.
No chance,
25,
baby.
26, 27, 28. We have a correct answer.
Yeah, I bet we do.
Come on.
Where?
Styles
where
knows
we-
Giles.
Where are we?
Styles knows Giles.
Wow. Styles and Giles.
Let's see.
Look out.
See you later,
Look
pal.
out, buddy.
Let's end with
Show writes itself.
happy birthday, Jeff Hostetler from the Raiders quarterback.
Oh, Haas.
I like that you looked at your list
Yeah.
and that's the one that you
Haas is
that's not a
60.
good day.
He's 65. Pretty old.
63.
69. No chance.
67.
We have a correct answer.
Come
right,
on, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Styles knows
63.
Hostetler. Hey, any chance you guys
63.
talking Kings today?
Yeah. Maybe even
Kings.
some Malik Monk, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Malik Monk, Mike Brown, Sam Amick, friend of
Did you
the
see
show.
some of that athletic stuff that
A
came
lot
out?
of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do me a quick favor. We didn't have time today. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about it tomorrow. Could you guys hold off? So it's like we can talk about it first.
That's funny.
Maybe.
We are working on no confirmation, but we're working on getting De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis their live pressers.
Oh, wow.
Wait, hold on.
Okay,
wait.
cool. And for tomorrow's show, we are working on Barack Obama and Tiger Woods.
No.
We'll
Press
update you
conferences.
tomorrow. But for Christopher Laud and Frankie and Jason and these guys, thank you. Fastest growing show in the world is next. Bye-bye now.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sactown Sports.